Prime Time is presented by Experian. From Atlanta, Georgia, you're watching the ACC on ESPN. Bobby Dodd Stadium hosting one of its biggest games in recent memory for the 112-year-old venue as 16th-ranked Georgia Tech looks to clinch a spot in the ACC title game with a win over Pitt. 4 teams have 1 loss in conference play, including these 2 teams playing tonight, plus 2 others within a game of first place. The ACC title game 2 weeks from tonight in Charlotte. Simple formula for Georgia Tech. Win tonight and it's into the ACC title game. Pitt has to win tonight, beat Miami next week, and get some help. And hi, everybody. Dave Pasch alongside Dusty Dvorak and Taylor McGregor. Georgia Tech hasn't won an ACC title game in 16 years. Hasn't even been to the ACC Championship Game since 2014. One of the reasons, Dusty, they're in position for perhaps their first college football playoff berth. Their quarterback, Haynes King, he is the face of this resurgent program.
Yes, he is. And I think he's one of the most valuable players in all of college football for their team. This offense is tailor-fit and built around him. By the way, it's the #1 offense in the country. His ability to run the football. You're going to see counters. You're going to see sweeps. A lot of designed quarterback running game. 14 rushing touchdowns. Leads all quarterbacks, but as a passer, he's so improved, playing his best football of his career from the pocket with accuracy in the short, intermediate, and down the field.
Been an outstanding career, capping his 6th and final season here, playing on senior night. He's been brilliant in 2025. Georgia Tech 9-1 overall, 6-1 in conference play. And with more on what's at stake for both these teams tonight, here's Taylor.
Well, Dave, neither coach has shied away from telling their players that this tonight is a championship game. Pat Narduzzi, in meetings this week, had the program's 2021 ACC Championship trophy on display because he wanted his guys to understand that's what we're playing for. And then Brent Key, on the other hand, said he usually never will mention the name of their opponent, but on Sunday he walked into meetings and said, look, we have one mission. That mission is to beat Pitt. It is do or die, Dave. This is championship football.
It's been a wild year in the ACC. A number of teams still in play to make it to Charlotte. And Georgia Tech packing Bobby Dodd Stadium, its first night home game all season. Won the toss and deferred. So we will see Haynes King and the potent Georgia Tech offense momentarily. Sam Carpenter will boot it deep. Dalen Gordon is back for Georgia Tech along with Jamal Haynes. We are underway from Atlanta, and this will be a touchback. The Yellow Jackets will start on their 25-yard line. 24-year-old Texas A&M transfer Haynes King. As there's a flag down on the kick back at the 34-yard line. Spent 3 years at A&M. He's from Longview, Texas. And before transferring to Pitt, he was the king of pain for a while, dealt with a number of injuries. His first 3 seasons, and then his first year at Georgia Tech. Had a rough year through 16 picks. Last year, just 2 interceptions. Played through a hurt shoulder throughout the year. Missed 1 game this season, but otherwise, he's been terrific. 3 straight seasons with 10 or more passing and rushing touchdowns. Just the second in ACC history. The other Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Jackson.
Well, he is tough, a winner, and a true leader, and is what this program is all about. Few players embody the culture of their program the way Haynes King does here at Georgia Tech.
Blindside block on the kickoff return by Tech. That's why they're starting back in their own end. And on first down, Jamal Haynes is out to the 17-yard line, brought down by Kyle Lewis, arguably Pitt's best player. Gain of 4.
This is going to be a tremendous matchup all night. This rushing attack of Georgia Tech that's as tough as any to stop in the country against this aggressive defense for Pitt that can really create negative plays.
Here's Haynes again to the boundary, and he gets popped at the 18-yard line. Big hit by Rashad Battle. And talking with the Georgia Tech coaches, they feel like this Pitt defense may be the best test they've had this season.
I don't think there's any question about that, Dave, and especially with what they do attacking, penetrating, playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and their chance to disrupt what Georgia Tech likes to do running the football. Got to be aware of these running backs out of the backfield. Jamal Haynes, an excellent pass catcher.
And King looking that way. Haynes on the catch, but he's wrapped up and brought down for a loss by Javon McIntyre. It's a 2-yard setback and a 3-and-out for the nation's best offense entering tonight.
Well, this is exactly what Randy Bates had hoped he'd get from the defense. Watch the ability to attack. You see downhill immediately. Javon McIntyre diagnoses it, gets right there, makes the play, and it's Braylon Lovelace. Really good speed to the football in that opening possession.
Marshall Nichols punting from inside his 5-yard line. It's a poor punt. Takes a huge hop and roll past the return man Kenny Johnson and out of bounds around the 28-yard line. Ends up being a 52-yard punt. Well, Pittsburgh early on in the season was struggling. They had a veteran quarterback in Eli Holstein who was 7-1 last year when healthy. They bench Holstein. They go with a true freshman, 18-year-old Mason Heinchel. And look what he's done. His only loss last week against Notre Dame.
He is a baller. Can rip the football down the field. Got some gunslinger in him. And he will take his shots down the field, and really a good athlete with the ball in his hands.
Play action, Heinchel to the sideline, and the catch is made by Johnson. His 42nd catch that leads the Panthers, and it's a gain of 7.
Talked about that Georgia Tech offense and #1 in total offense, but the #1 scoring offense in the ACC is this Pitt squad. They love to spread the field and throw the football.
Little option, Turner on the pitch, trying to get the edge, and he got a good block out there from Hicks, a wide receiver, and it's a first down to the 44-yard line, a gain of 9 on the play.
What's Blue Hicks on the outside? And you touched on it, Dave. Watch the ability to block and help set up. Boozy Turner, the jab step inside, gets to the perimeter.
Now they go empty. And Heinchel hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. He was trying for Johnson. It was broken up by Amari Harvey, who is back after missing about a month with a dislocated ankle.
But it's the pressure off the edge. Watch the inside move. He's going to get home almost immediately. Pressure right in the face of Mason Heinchel, unable to step into this throw and make it accurate to Kenny Johnson.
That was a Montre Bradford who got the shot in. Got part of the helmet there of Heinchel, but not forcible contact. Play action again. Heinchel in trouble, steps up and runs. You mentioned he's a very good athlete, and he picks up a first down, a gain of 13.
Well, there's going to bring pressure off the edge. He's going to come home, and it's a good job of Mason Heinchel identifying the pressure, and he's going to see he's got space to step up and green grass out in front. Very wise decision by the freshman quarterback.
He's got a rushing touchdown, 12 passing touchdowns this season. From Oregon, Ohio, near Toledo, about an hour and a half from Ann Arbor. He was a Michigan fan growing up. His dad, Eric, played baseball there. And on first down, they'll run it. Turner between the tackles, nothing. Hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down. It was Jason Moore in there first.
This Georgia Tech defense is trying to find its confidence. It's played well in stretches throughout this season, but the last 2 games, that's not the case. They've really struggled. Over 1,100 yards allowed, over 80 points allowed the last 2 games. First-year DC Blake Gideon hoping this defense can play with some confidence here early in this ballgame.
Heinchel hit again and had to rush the throw. Justin Holmes could not make the catch. And so it's 3rd and 10. Pitt was 0 for 13 against Notre Dame last week on 3rd down.
Watch the inside game here. It's going to get home. And once again, second time, we've seen pressure right in the face of Mason Heinchel. Just unable to deliver an accurate throw. He's got his tight end open, but under duress and under pressure, setting up this 3rd down. And Clay Gideon told us they want to bring some different exotic pressures on 3rd down here tonight.
Heinchel out of empty, facing a 4-man rush, tried to spin away from the pressure and got sacked by Manley.
Well, Braden Manley's going to do a great job. Just come off and it's a bull rush. Watch him get inside on Percy, the left tackle. Speed to power, walks Percy back. There was pressure from the other side. Heinchel tried to escape, and Manley right there for a big Yellow Jacket sack.
There was not one pass play that Heinchel was not under pressure on that opening possession for Pitt. Junko punting just got it away. And back at the 9-yard line. Rivers up to the 20 and finally thrown down at the 24-yard line. Nearly 5 minutes in to a huge game in Atlanta. Haynes King trying to lead Georgia Tech to the ACC title game. They'll get there with a win tonight. 5-0 in conference play for the first time ever on the strength of the arm and the feet of Haynes King, who leads the nation in total offense coming in. He leads the conference in overall rushing touchdowns and has more rushing scores than any quarterback in all of college football this season. Second possession for the Yellow Jacket offense. And King rolling to his left, throwing on the run. And it's complete past the 30 to Malik Rutherford. He had a season-high 121 yards last week in the comeback win against Boston College. They needed a late field goal to win that game after losing for the first time this season the prior game against NC State.
Well, it's great to have him back. He's been banged up this season. He's such a key piece of this offense. He's small, but he's tough to tackle and very elusive on the perimeter. His final time here at Bobby Dodd here on senior night. What a great career Malik Rutherford has had.
Movement and a penalty marker down.
Number 58, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Alo Tupuola, the center, starting for the 4th straight game. Harrison Moore was the starting center prior to that, but he's been banged up.
Negative plays will be a key. Georgia Tech doesn't allow many, and nobody gets more than Pitt. Randy Bates told us they've got to get those tonight.
King from the pocket. Takes a shot downfield and not on the same page with his receiver Eric Rivers. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
Boy, that false start just kind of interrupts this drive. They got off to the good chunk play on 1st down, sets up 2nd manageable. And again, with the way Pitt plays, you'll see these safeties up close to the line of scrimmage. Talking with Buster Faulkner, offensive coordinator, they know they're going to have to take their shots and try to keep this Pitt defense honest.
They'll leave King by himself in the backfield here on 3rd down and 7. Pitt will rush 4, and the pocket breaks down, and King is sacked back inside the 15-yard line. And it's Kyle Lewis right on cue with that negative play, a loss of 13.
Well, they bring 6 at the line of scrimmage. They're going to bail 2, so it's only going to be a 4-man rush, but you have to identify what's going to happen inside, and you'll see the game with Kyle Lewis does an excellent job. That's a Tex game, usually with a tackle done with a linebacker. Does a good job getting the backside of the offensive tackle and getting the sack.
Nichols with a good punt, racing backwards as Johnson. The ball checks up and then rolls down to the 31-yard line. 6 minutes into the game, and so far neither offense able to get unlocked in what we thought might be a high-scoring game based on how these offenses have played this season. We already touched on what Georgia Tech's done. Pitt leading the ACC in scoring. Mason Heinchel's thrown for over 300 yards. 4 times, had a 400-yard passing game as well. Extra man in the backfield. It's play action. And Heinzel has time to throw for the first time, and he checks it down to Turner. And a good open field tackle made at the 37-yard line by Rodney Shelley.
That's a good sign to see, Dave. Shelley making that open field tackle. Boosie Turner, the true freshman, he is tough to tackle out in space. They actually went tackle to the ground this week in practice because the tackling had been so poor the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, a lot of busted plays against BC last week. Turner got the corner, and he's got speed past the 40, and run out of play by Shelley at the 31-yard line.
Watch Jeff Percy right here on the edge do a really good job getting this tackle and help allow Boosie Turner. You see the acceleration to the perimeter and the chuck run.
Gain of 33 for Turner, the true freshman. And 127 yards against Stanford, so it's a big reason why those numbers to the right on that graphic have gone up. Heinzel takes off, now fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Johnson. There is a penalty flag down. What a play by Heinzel to step up, keep his eyes downfield, and throw a strike.
Pass interference. Defense number 14. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, it's a touchdown.
So on senior night here at Georgia Tech, it is Pitt that strikes first with the 18-year-old true freshman quarterback, Mason Heinzel, getting it done. You just see that moxie and that confidence by Heinzel with that shot right there. When they made the change to Holstein, Pat Narduzzi told us that Heinzel quickly won over the locker room because of great leadership skills despite his youth. And the extra point makes it 7-0 Panthers.
He just sees the field so well, to your point, Dave, as we'll take a look at this flag. But Mason Heinzel does not play or seem like a freshman. We had him in his second start on the road in Tallahassee, and he looked like a seasoned veteran.
Offsides. Defense. Penalty is declined. The try is good. Timeout on the field.
Very similar to what you're going to see right here. He just understands with this pass rush what's going to happen. Watch him feel this rush. You freeze it right here. He's going to climb and step up. Now watch the safety up top. He's going to take one step inside. It's Clayton Powell-Lee, and as he opens his hips the wrong way, Mason Heinzel makes him pay. He finds Kenny Johnson, and he's got Pitt on top here early.
I'm out here telling people how their big financial friend, Experian, can help them find credit cards. Can I ask you a question? Do you?
He does sports.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
Why is no one clapping?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Bud Light here! Got a fresh Bud Light here. Don't need you. Probably gonna need a Bud Light soon, so don't go too far though. Hey? I am close by. Said that last time, but you were wandering around. I won't go far. Yeah, I don't believe it. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
ESPN College Football is presented by Experian, your big financial friend, a BFF for life. When you're tackling life's big financial moments, it's good to have a big financial friend on your team. Ready to take control of your finances? Download the Experian app now.
They passed Dusty Dvorak and Taylor McGregor on a beautiful night in Atlanta. Mason Heinzel with his 13th touchdown pass and just his 7th career start. And Pitt on the board first. Pitt needs to win twice and get some help to make the ACC title game. The Yellow Jackets need to win the night, and they're in. A loss, and they're likely not going to make it to the ACC title game. Not much room to run there for Haynes on the return. Time now for, now hold on, we got a whistle here, and Pitt coming out with a ball. No signal yet from the official. Let's take a look at Dusty's defensive dudes.
Well, Pitt's got some dudes, and the linebackers are great. We'll take a look at those in a second.
Pitt had the ball. Now, Georgia Tech is protesting, saying that Haynes was down, but you see Pat Narduzzi, what he thinks.
The field is that the runner was down by rule. After the play, personal foul, necessary roughness, kicking team number 39. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Jamal
Jamal Haynes gets tackled, and as he goes to the ground, it's like elbows down, ball comes out after. A good call there on the field.
And not sure who there's no 39 that's up today for Pitt, so not sure who the referee was calling out there that had the penalty, but it will give Georgia Tech the ball at its 36-yard line. And they will look at this to see if indeed the runner was down. It certainly looked that way to us. It has to be clear and obvious to overturn this.
Slow here, Jamal Haynes. You see that left forearm hit. It appears he's still got the football as he goes to the ground, Dave.
Cole Woodson came up with it for Pitt. Got the Game Day Operations Center working in Charlotte.
But then we're not able to see the ball. We're looking. Excuse me? Adam, can you hear us?
Adam.
Okay, I don't think Adam can hear us.
Yeah, send him down here, guys.
I
can hear you guys. Send him down here.
Right now, we see a knee down.
Adam, go to the other monitor, please.
And now we can't be able to see the ball.
He's going to the left monitor,
these
Mark.
looks, we don't have any look at the inside to see what the ball is doing when the knee is down.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
He's going to the left monitor.
Okay.
So he can't hear on the right.
That's fine.
But when he gets back, I got the right 30 and the far handheld, which I think are the only shots that we have.
Right. So now when he's going downward, you're going to first see his knee go down, and I don't see the
replay.
Ball.
This is Adam.
So we'll show Adam this.
Hey, Adam. Hello. I'm going to show you two shots linked together. One's the right 30, one's the far handheld. We don't have a clear shot of the ball from the other side. What we can see is that the runner's knee is down right here on the far handheld. Okay. All right.
We're not able to see the ball.
But we're not able to see whether that ball is out.
At the end, we'll see
All right, so
Pittsburgh with the ball.
Do we have anything else?
With that, we can't see the ball when the knee is down. So based off all this, the ruling on the field is upheld.
Okay, so after further review, the ruling on the field is upheld.
Yes.
I agree.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Yep.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld.
So it'll be Georgia Tech ball. But we strongly encourage all conferences to adopt what the ACC is doing, allowing America to listen in so they understand the process of how they ultimately come to these decisions. And you could hear it there that they just did not have any obvious video that would say that that was not Georgia Tech ball.
It's been a game changer for the ACC, and I agree. It should be done across the Power 4 at minimum in college football.
King on a wide receiver screen with room to run on a first down out to the 48-yard line for Rutherford. A gain of 12 on the first play of this drive and the first down of the game for Georgia Tech.
They're a very good screen team to the perimeter, and 52 Harrison Moore gets out in front and a key block to help spring that first down.
They had -1 yard on the day before that play. They had 628 against BC last week. King will run it here, and he gets belted at midfield. Big hit by Brookins coming in. Lovelace was there first.
It's Lovelace, Biles. This linebacking core of Pitt is outstanding. Kyle Lewis, Rasheem Biles, Braylon Lovelace, as good as Pat Narduzzi has ever had collectively in his career, and that is a mouthful when you think about some of the Michigan State defenses when he was a coordinator and some of the defenses he's had here at Pitt. They're athletic, they can run, and they're going to challenge this rushing attack and this offense at Georgia Tech here today.
King from the pocket, and out of the backfield, it's Malachi Hosley, who's really come on of late. Ivy League Player of the Year last year at Penn, tracked down by Biles. It's going to be short of a first down by 3 yards.
Third medium, you see multiple tight ends coming to the game. This is an area they love to keep the ball in the hands of Haynes King. Big play here, sweep to the boundary and quarterback counter. A couple of plays they really like in this type of situation.
Blitz coming, King gets rid of it, and a huge hit that time by Battle on the pass intended for Hartbrink. A battle able to knock that ball out of there right as it arrived. And Georgia Tech keeping the offense out there for 4th down and 3.
A huge play coming here. Brent Key rolling the dice here early. And you got the #1 offense in the country. You got a player like Haynes King. I agree. Keep the offense on the field. Keep the ball in his hands. But as you referenced, that's an excellent job by Rashad Battle to plant drive and knock that ball out.
King backing up, throws it back to the other side to Hosley, and it's incomplete. Boy, what an interesting call there. By the time King backpedaled and threw the ball to Hosley, he's 10 yards behind the sticks. Even if he catches it, what are the chances he gets a 1st down? And it's a turnover on downs.
Well, this is just really good defense. I mean, the anticipation. Watch your battle on this play. Watch him plant drive and knock this ball out right when Harpring tries to bring it in. And the second play on 4th down, it's Rasheem Biles reads it the whole way. Even if Hosley catches that ball, it's going to be tough for him to get the 1st down. Really good defense here early from Pitt.
And the Panthers take over near midfield, leading 7-0 with 5:44 to go in the 1st. Turner up the middle. Nice move in the hole. Gets to the 49. Tripped up by Jai Gilmore. A gain of 4 on the play. And down is Gilmore. Now, he played last week against Boston College after missing the previous 2 games. And even though it's a defense that has struggled, when they've been on, he's a big reason why. He's really their heart and soul.
He is a huge piece of this defense, Dave. And Blake Gideon told us yesterday, we need him on the field for every play of this game tonight. And he's currently down here late in the 1st.
Gilmore being carted off. And he was trying to fire up his teammates. He's still doing it before he gets into the locker room. Knowing how important this possession is right now. With Pitt up 7-0. A 2nd down and 6 at midfield. Heinzel will hand it off again. And room to run for Turner. 1st down and more. Steps out of bounds inside the 35 at the 32 for a 19-yard gain.
E.J. Lights, he's going to take 1 step inside, and it's going to allow Boozy Turner to get to the perimeter. Lights, he just slow to get outside, and it's good perimeter blocking. But Boozy Turner having a huge impact here in this 1st quarter.
That's twice now we've seen blocks on the edge by receivers springing. Turner, who's got 66 rushing yards already. It was Poppy Williams that time that had the block. Off play action. Heinzel floating it towards the end zone. It's underthrown and incomplete. Intended for Hicks. Harvey in coverage.
Amari Harvey is in excellent shape outside. He just never locates this football. Dave, I think if he would have found the ball, might have had an opportunity to get turned around and pick it off. That ball underthrown and a long incompletion for Pitt.
Again, Pitt needs to win the night, beat Miami next week, and get some help to make it to the ACC title game. Georgia Tech needs to win tonight, and they are in the ACC title game. Turner in trouble in the backfield, but able to slip a tackle back at the 38-yard line from Harvey, get back to the line of scrimmage and actually get about a yard to bring up 3rd down and long.
Well, it's an important 3rd down. The pass rush was able to get home early in the game. Can they generate some pass rush? You're going to see 15, Tajay Butler on the field. Part of this pass rush package. 1, Kamen Spalding. Expect Blake Gideon to dial something up and try to come after the freshman quarterback.
0 for 1 tonight, 0 for 13 last week on 3rd down. Heinzel has his man. It's a 1st down catch for Johnson. And again, there was pressure right in the grill of the quarterback.
Well, as expected, they dial that pressure up. How about the poise in the pocket? He's staring down the pressure, but he sees a wide open Kenny Johnson, and he's able to fire a strike for a big 3rd down conversion.
That was Clayton Powell-Lee, the safety, right in the face of Heinzel. 1st down for Pitt inside the 15 of Georgia Tech. Touchdown pass already for Heinzel and looking for another. And a 2-score lead in the first quarter. Heinzel pulls it back, dumps it off inside the 5 and towards the end zone is Holmes. Touchdown Pittsburgh. There is a penalty flag down.
An eligible player downfield. Offense number 56. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on the center. Lyndon Cooper just had to hold his water a little bit longer, and it's a touchdown.
Well, they could have called either one. They're going to call it on 56, but watch 70, the right tackle, Bear. He's also down the field as well. Both of these guys are going to climb all the way up. By the time that ball is released, they're 4 yards down the field, blocking the second level. That's a good call. This Georgia Tech defense, Dave, on their heels, as we've seen similarly in the last 2 games they've had.
Already given up 129 yards to Pitt in the first quarter. Heinzel off play action. Over the middle, it's caught. It's a touchdown. Justin Holmes, who just had one negated via penalty a second ago. This one will count, and it's 13-0 Pitt.
Well, how about the protection here by this offensive line? They do such a good job here, and Mason Heinzel trusts it. Freeze it right there, guys. I mean, perfect, and you're going to see a really good route here by Holmes. Just get vertical, get right up the seam, and it's an absolute dime over the linebacker and into the end zone for Pitt.
Heinzel is perfect in ACC play as a starting quarterback, 5-0. And a name to watch going forward in college football for the Pitt Panthers. He's got 2 first-quarter touchdowns here on the road against a team that needs a win to get to the ACC title game. The Panthers still with their own hopes. We mentioned 5-0 in the ACC, 5-1 overall, the loss against Notre Dame last week. 4 games of 300 yards or more, including 423 against NC State. Just 18 years old. Got offered by Ohio, Liberty, and Bowling Green before Pitt took a little bit longer look at him and decided to offer him a scholarship.
And give Cade Bell, the offensive coordinator, all the credit in the world. He found him. He took him to Pat Narduzzi, and initially Narduzzi said, no, I need to see more, because there was a lot of scramble plays. And so what does Cade Bell do? He goes and finds 250 pocket passes, similar to what you just saw. Took it back to Narduzzi, and he said, after he watched that, he said, offer him. We got to get that guy. And man, has he made a huge difference in this season for Pitt.
Touchback, it'll come out to the 25-yard line. 4 one-loss teams atop a wild ACC. Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pitt, and SMU all with 1 loss. Virginia plays Virginia Tech next week. SMU has to play Cal. Miami and Duke both with 2 losses. Again, Miami's the highest ranked of those teams, but they need a lot of help just to get into the conference championship game, as does Pitt. Georgia Tech's in with a win tonight, a loss, and it's really difficult for the Yellow Jackets to find a way to get to Charlotte. This is their final ACC game. They play Georgia at Mercedes-Benz Stadium next week. Jamal Haynes on first down does not get much, maybe 2.
It's Francis Brew inside. I mean, this Pitt defensive line, so good. Brew, he is strong, man. 685 squat, 475 bench, and he's really had an impactful season. Nice job splitting the double, and nowhere to go for Jamal Haynes.
Just 20 yards of offense for Tech, and that pass off target intended for Harpring. Now King is just 4 for 8 passing so far.
This is just off target for Haynes King. This is a layup over the middle of the field to his tight end Luke Harpring. Puts it too far out in front. Now another 3rd and long here for this Pitt defense.
Now this team doesn't do great in 3rd and long. They're built to run the ball on first down, second down. A lot of times with their quarterback, we've not seen Haynes King run it much. And so because they haven't been able to run it, they're finding themselves in 3rd and 8+ all night. Low snap, King in trouble, backs up, and the pass is intercepted at the 35-yard line. Baines Marquez takes it back to the Georgia Tech 27. Just the third interception all season for King.
Well, it's all about Kyle Lewis. We've seen him impact this game already as a blitzer. He's just going to get turned loose right inside. The left tackle steps down, allows Kyle Lewis to come clean. You see Haynes King panic, move to his right, and a gimme to Marquez. Just a huge mistake that cannot happen on your own end of the field, already down 2 scores. But it's that pressure that Pitt can create. And Kyle Lewis had a huge impact here early in this ballgame.
Sudden change. Can Georgia Tech get a stop? Pitt looking to go up 21. Still here in the first quarter. Heinschel checks it down to Turner. Wrapped up at the 25 by Kelvin Hill. That interception by Haynes King, we hadn't seen in 2 years. He had just 2 picks last year, 2 this year before that one. That was a play he made 2 years ago when he threw 16 interceptions.
He just panicked, under pressure, under duress, moving to his right, trying to make a play when there's nothing there, and it's a costly mistake. Mason, this is new for Mason Heinschel. Okay, this is that next step, that next layer, changing, checking at the line of scrimmage. It's the trust Cade Bell has in his young quarterback.
Hand off to Goff, and running downhill, close to a first down, about a yard short. Dragged to the ground by Hill, bring it up 3rd down and 1.
It's a big step for Mason Heinschel. Early on, he couldn't do that. He couldn't address, look at the defense, see the front, check the play. He can change the protections. He's got full control and command of this offense now in his 7th start of the season. I expect him to keep this on the ground here. Pick up this 3rd down. Jules Goff in the game. Heavy set, multiple tight ends in for Pitt.
Heinschel will throw, though. And he fires complete inside the 5 and down to the 1 is Kenny Johnson. A touchdown saving tackle by Shelley, but it's 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Boy, what creativity. Kenny Johnson sneaks out. And a good find by Heinschel.
Goff trying to punch it in. And it's a touchdown for Pitt. It is 20-0 Panthers, and we still have 39 seconds to go in the first quarter. ...176 yards of total offense. 3 touchdowns for Pitt. They have scored more points already in the first quarter than they had the entire game against Notre Dame last week. That ended their 5-game win streak. 21-0 after the Carpenter point after.
Well, everybody's stunned here in this stadium right now. How about this 3rd and short, 3rd and 1, take a shot. We're just going to get heavy personnel. Freeze it right through. We're going to settle right here and watch him just come out of this. He's going to come out, run this over. It's hard play action, and it's one-on-one. Protection is there, and Kenny Johnson running away from coverage, and a strike delivered. Now, how about the blocking off the left side? It's Percy, the left tackle. It's 87 Overman, and they open a huge hole for Goff to get in the end zone.
Now, Georgia Tech, Dusty, has trailed entering the 4th quarter in 4 of its 10 games, but those were close games. We're down 21 here. Offensively, we talked about how they need to run the ball. Do you stick with your offense?
Yeah, it's the first quarter. You stick with your offense. But again, one thing Cade Bell said, he said, we're a team, the offense coordinator Pitt, that is best playing from ahead because it does allow that Pitt defense to be that much more aggressive, and that's the nature of who they are.
Be another touchback. Let's check in with Taylor.
Well, I was following Haynes King as he came to the sideline to watch his body language. He immediately sat next to Eric Rivers and said to him, we are better than this. The two then had conversations trying to figure out what's going on. They are searching. There is a sense of panic down here. Unfamiliar territory for Georgia Tech.
And again, the defense has been the issue the last couple weeks, but the offense isn't helping here tonight. Still a long way to go, though, but need an answer offensively pretty soon.
Pitt showing pressure here. Haynes King checking this at the line of scrimmage.
King handing it off, and there is no running room for Alexander. He is swarmed at the line of scrimmage, fell forward for maybe a yard. Hit the number 9 rush defense in the country. Francis Brew, Bryman Lovelace in there on the hit.
And it's penetration by 11, Nick James. I mean, this is who Pat Narduzzi is. They plant a lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage, and they attack.
King got a man down the seam, and he overthrows Alexander. Missed opportunity there. That likely would have been 6.
And Chad Alexander is healthy. He's back, and they had an opportunity. Watch him just run right up this seam. And this is a potential touchdown, just completely missed by Haynes King. Lovelace is about 4 steps behind, but too much on that throw from Haynes King. He's just been off in this first quarter so far, Dave.
And now facing 3rd and 9. They're 0 for 4 on 3rd down. It's been 3rd and long all night. Pressure off the edge. King steps up. Long throw through the hands of Canyon. Incomplete. That would have been a first down. And Georgia Tech will have to punt it back to Pittsburgh.
Well, this is Isaiah Canyon's best route. Little comeback on the outside. He's able to create space. It's a really good route, and this pass has to be caught. Isaiah Canyon, 6'4", 215. He's the biggest of these targets. It's a little high, but easily a catchable ball.
And Georgia Tech ran Alexander on there late. They thought, at least Alexander did, that Tech only had 10 players, so he ran onto the field after the ball was snapped. What an absolute disaster.
Offense, number 27, 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Just an absolute train wreck of a first quarter for Georgia Tech. A lot of mistakes, the penalties, the turnovers, bad offense, bad defense on a night where with a win they make it to Charlotte.
Chad Alexander runs in bottom of the frame, and you hit it, Dave. Miscues, mistakes. Georgia Tech in such a big spot, such a big moment, just not ready to play here in this first quarter.
Nichols gets off a good punt, and the fair catch made by Kenny Johnson. And that ends the first quarter. Just a brilliant opening frame for the Pitt Panthers on the road. They lead 21-0 here in Atlanta.
For him.
So, this fox had a trot.
He switched to Geico.
Like 5, 6, 7, 8, 900.
Dollars. He saved over $900 by switching.
You're not Emmett Smith, but we'll treat you like him. It feels good to get the star treatment. It feels good to Geico.
All right, so let's get started.
Wave hello to Zane. He's king of the ping.
Hi, Zane.
For every one sentence spoken on a call, he has 3 comments, 2 memes, and 4 emojis to contribute. A flood of positivity during every single meeting.
Thanks, Zane.
But oh, how his passion for product management takes your team from level 0 to level Zane. You need Zane. Zane needs benefits. Work with Principal so we can help you help Zane with a retirement and benefits plan that's right for him. Let our expertise round out yours.
Pre-approved. I'm pre-approved.
We gotta celebrate.
It's a good day for a good deal at Outback. Get down under favourites like the Aussie 3-course starting at $14.99. Any reason is a good reason to celebrate at Outback.
The Las Vegas Grand Prix on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Surprise here in Atlanta with Pitt up 21-0 on Georgia Tech with Pat Narduzzi moments ago. Here's Taylor McGregor.
Coach, you almost could not have scripted a better start for your group. What has impressed you the most through the first?
Well, our offense is executing. Protecting the quarterback, he's on fire. Guys are making plays. And then defensively, we're doing an unbelievable job. I think they got more 3 outs in the first quarter than they've had the entire season for everybody. So,
thank you, Coach. Dave?
Let's start with offense. What do you like from Pitt? What's the reason we're seeing this right now?
Mason Heinschel is a dude. And it's really 2 true freshmen. Boozy Turner and Mason Heinschel, 2 true freshmen that I think are really impacting this game. But it's his ability, whether it's a clean pocket, it's a messy pocket, to locate targets down the field and take advantage with his passing attack.
You mentioned Turner. He's in for Des Reed, who is arguably their best running back. He's out due to injury. Turner has room to run again, and he breaks a tackle at the 35 and out the gate. And he's in the Georgia Tech territory, although now they're saying he stepped out back at the 46. It's still a 14-yard gain.
Well, it's good blocking off the left side. They insert the tight end. Malachi Thomas gets just enough. You see Boozy Turner, his ability to get downhill, that burst, that acceleration. And Desmond Reed's been out of the lineup a lot this year, and it's allowed Boozy Turner to continue to grow throughout this season.
83 rushing yards already here in the first half. Between the tackles, Turner. And only a yard or two there. This Georgia Tech defense got exposed a couple weeks ago against NC State. In that game, they gave up 48 points, and they trailed Boston College. One win, Boston College, by 11 last week in the fourth quarter. One late on a field goal. But Pitt is not Boston College, a much better team. And Georgia Tech, Blake Gideon, defensive coordinator, going to have to come up with something. They'll run a blitz here. It's picked up. Heinzel's pass is pulled in. Malachi Thomas stabs it out of the air at the 36-yard line of Georgia Tech.
Well, great job running right up the seam, and he rips the football. And how about Thomas climbing the ladder, getting that catch?
Gain of 17. Heinzel back to work. Long throw intended for Deuce Spann. Incomplete.
There's good protection, too. Jules Goff steps up, gets that blitzing linebacker. Mason Heinzel. How about, Dave, how many times have we seen pressure right in his face, and he stands in there and delivers the football right where it needs to be?
It's that toughness that led Pat Narduzzi to make the change to go to Heinzel midseason. And boy, is he delivered. They saw it in practice. They saw how he talked to the team. Saw how he interacted with his coaches, and they felt he was mature enough at 18 years old to handle the rest of the season. Trying to keep their hopes alive of appearing in the ACC title game. Bryce Yates made the catch, ripped to the ground at the 31, so just a gain of 5. The tackle made by Hill. We replaced the injured Jai Gilmore, and it's third down.
It was such an important third down for Georgia Tech. They cannot allow any more touchdowns in this game.
They rush 4 against Heinzel. He has to leave the pocket. He flips it back across his body to Spann, and he's got a first down to the 20. Boy, Heinzel continues to make plays, whether it's from the pocket or outside the pocket.
Well, Georgia Tech's going to lose contain. He's going to roll to his left. Look at him keep his eyes down the field, throwing back across. And once again, a strike. Nice job by Deuce Spann, finding some open space, sitting down, being a good target for Mason Heinzel.
On the cusp of the red zone again. And Heinzel 5 of 6 passing on this drive. The play clock was at 11. Pat Narduzzi takes a timeout. Pitt looking to add to a 21-0 lead.
When I talk to older Americans, they're worried about Social Security. It's something they really count on.
Social Security helps cover what I need. Medicine, groceries.
It moves on the field, and gentlemen, the Big 12 race just as tight as the ACC. Devin Dampier on 4th and 1 takes it all the way down to the 3-yard line. Utah was down 10 with 7 minutes to go. They come all the way back to beat Kansas State 51-47.
Utah number 12, Matt, in the college football playoff rankings. Georgia Tech number 16, but not looking like it by any stretch. Down 21-0 at home to Pitt in a must-win game. The Yellow Jackets win, and they're in the ACC title game. They lose, and they likely will not make it to Charlotte based on tiebreakers. Turner able to break another tackle, still going inside the 10 and all the way down to the 3. They are out-hustling and out-powering Georgia Tech right now. It is a complete mismatch here in the first half. There is a flag down on the far side of the field at the 22.
Offside. Defense number 3. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down. Timeout for an injury to a defensive player.
Yeah, Kilo Stone has shaken up the flag on Harvey, but declined, that it will be first and goal for Pitt at the 3-yard line.
Well, they're just dominating the line of scrimmage. How about the left guard, Kendall Stanley, 53. Watch this block right here, and then a kick out here, and there's going to be a massive hole that opens up off this left side. It's really well done by Stanley, by Percy. And again, Boozy Turner just continues to pick up yards after contact. So tough to tackle. What a first half. 100 yards now for Boozy Turner.
Will keep it and walk into the touchdown. Heinzel able to find running room off the left side. His mom loving it. He jumps over the goal line. He's accounted for 3 touchdowns, and it's 27-0 Pitt.
Well, it's just too easy. The defensive end's going to crash, and you're going to see the safety follow the running back, follow 5, Poppy Williams, off the line of scrimmage. Great read by Mason Heinzel, and a walk-in touchdown for Pitt.
I know Georgia Tech had been struggling, but were they this bad the last couple weeks?
They've had all kinds of struggles, but boy, it's being personified here tonight in the biggest game of the season for the Yellow Jackets. We came in talking about Haynes King, but as we sit here early in the second, the story is about the true freshman, Mason Heinzel, as he's got the Pitt Panthers up 28.
We're not sure who invented the double cheeseburger, but it sure tastes like we did. You rule.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Experian, is brought to you by Target, where game day meets the holidays.
Well, it won't be Clemson or Florida State this year. Could it be Pitt? Won it back in 2021. Again, they need to win tonight, beat Miami, and get some help to make it to the ACC Championship Game. We got Pitt, SMU, Virginia, and Georgia Tech all with 1 loss. Georgia Tech controls its destiny, win the night, and they're in. But they trail 28-0. It's one of the biggest home games in the 112-year history at Bobby Dodd Stadium. But they have been absolutely embarrassed here in the first half as Marshall gets leveled short of the 20. Check in with Taylor.
And Dave, when you look around the stadium, there are so many shirts that say Haynes for Heisman, but on the sideline, he has looked anything but, just sitting there almost shell-shocked, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Here was a shot from a couple moments ago. It's like he's staring into space, almost wondering, how did we get here?
Well, and you think about it, Taylor, he's been around. He played at Texas A&M for 3 years, now 3 years at Georgia Tech. This is arguably the biggest game of his career. And he's 4 of 11 for 23 yards and an interception.
And he has been under heavy duress. Credit this Pitt defense. They have completely negated the running attack at Georgia Tech. They've gotten constant pressure on Haynes King, and Haynes King has missed throws when they've been there. It's been a combination of all that, and it's by far the slowest and worst offensive start we've seen for this Georgia Tech offense all season.
And Taylor, it was an offside penalty on Pitt, so Georgia Tech making them kick again. And Taylor mentioned the T-shirts. We asked Haynes King about, have you thought about the Heisman Trophy at all? He said no. Said, I think if we win, then that will tell its own story, and that will help my cause. But the defense not helping him, and he's going to have to play out of his mind here over the next 2.5 quarters to give this team any chance. Pitt's 28-point lead is its largest lead against a ranked team in the last 20 years. Now, you and I saw this crazy comeback in College Station last week. Obviously, different team in terms of A&M's defense compared to Georgia Tech's defense. But the Yellow Jackets can score, but they got to do it in a hurry. Let's take a look at our playbook brought to you by Modelo.
Well, how do you slow down the #1 offense in the country? You bring pressure. How about the game? And it's Kyle Lewis who's going to get home. This is early in this football game. Gets the big sack. A third down a couple of drives later. Pressure in his face. Forces a bad pass. More pressure coming his way. Passes errant and a tie. And Kyle Lewis, again, a complete bust in protection. Kyle Lewis, pressure right now, forces the mistake of Haynes King.
Going to try to get him involved in the run game. He takes a shot at the 28-yard line. Picks up 3 yards. It was Lovelace with the big lick. 2nd down and 7. And coming into tonight, Haynes King has played as well as anybody in this conference. Perhaps the front runner for ACC Player of the Year and very much in the Heisman conversation, but been a rough start. Plenty of time, though, to bounce back. King to the air. Haynes out of the backfield on the grab, gets a block and gets a first down. Just the 2nd first down of the game for Georgia Tech.
Jamal Haynes, so good out of the backfield. And you see, get him on the perimeter, get him space. And a nice job picking up a first down. Only the 2nd first down here tonight for Georgia Tech.
Running on first down, room for Haynes. And he's across the 45, got 9 yards. Haynes starting to feel it.
What's good blocking off the right side, zone scheme. You see the vision, a nice cutback by Jamal Haynes. Been such a key piece of this turnaround at Georgia Tech. It's senior night for him as well. And a couple of nice plays here back-to-back for the senior.
Kingle keeping himself on 2nd down and 1, and he gets tattooed. Wow, what a hit. At the line of scrimmage. Able to fall forward. Let's see where they mark it. I'm going to say he got the first down, but, man, he paid for it.
With Lane Spires going to come inside. Watch this big hit he puts on Haynes King. Absolutely lowers the boom. Haynes King's going to get the first down. But, man, he paid for that one.
Might they look at this for potential targeting?
Determined the ball carrier was down short of the line to gain. It's 3rd down.
So that's what they were looking at. And so they will bring the sticks back, and it will be 3rd down and short.
Take a look at it from the side here. Really good job by Spires coming inside. That's a good call. See that football when he comes down, Dave, behind where our yellow line is.
Man, but how about the physicality?
Unbelievable. I mean, tough, physical. That's Pat Narduzzi. That's what he demands from his football team, from his defense. They thought coming into this game they were going to match up very well against this Georgia Tech offense, and boy, they've been right so far in this first half.
Well, they try to run King again. They put him under center, run the quarterback sneak, a little tush push. And it was J.T. Byrne, the tight end, coming in to shove King across to get the first down.
He needed that.
And an injured Pitt defender. Francis Brew is down for Pitt. They've had some injuries on that defensive line, but they still played very well up front. Back to Atlanta in a moment.
Is your mattress giving you aches and pains? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like poor support that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the extensive training, unrivaled know-how, and advanced tools to match you with a more supportive mattress, like Sealy Posturepedic. It delivers targeted support to help relieve those nagging aches. And right now, you can save up to $700 and get a free adjustable base. So for the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy.
I'm feeling more confident. The protection of this guard. Forgetting that guard.
Where do we even get this guy? Kevin Barnes, the Franklin Elementary.
Okay, stop! Stop! Guys, actually, it's a city ordinance.
Kevin, come on, get ready.
I
need you to block 5-0.
You think I have a shot to make the team?
No.
Respect the best, respect the best.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Live from Charlotte, ACCN is bringing you complete championship coverage. Join us for Inside Access, ACC Huddle, and an exclusive Field Pass look at the championship game. ACC Football Championship coverage, December 6th on ACCN.
The CFP begins December 19th.
Next week is rivalry week and the final week of the regular season. A triple header on ABC. You got the Egg Bowl first. Georgia Tech after that here in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then Texas A&M still undefeated after that incredible come-from-behind win against South Carolina. Taking on Texas in Austin. Georgia Tech trying to get on the board. Approaching midfield, trailing 28-0 in a must-win game. King, long throw to the sideline to Jordan Allen. And he's belted out of play by Lewis into the Pitt bench.
Well, Haynes King wanted to take a shot down the field. It's well covered. Goes to his check down. You mentioned that is a long check down all the way back across, but positive yardage there on first down.
Haynes trying to cut it back. Dropped at the 45. Maybe a yard. Nick James on the stop. Jasir Whittington coming in for the injured Francis Brew. We haven't seen a lot of Malachi Hosley at running back in this game. He doesn't have a carry. Jamal Haynes has 5.
And Hosley kind of become that lead back for this offense, averaging over 7 yards a carry on the season.
He does have a catch in the first quarter. 4-down territory, 3rd and 3 for Tech. And King dumping it off to Haynes out in space. And nowhere to run against that speedy Pitt defense. Lewis and Lovelace leading the charge. It's a loss on the play, but now a flag. It's a loss of 1. But a dead ball penalty. Should give Tech a first down.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 3, his first of the game. 15-yard penalty. An automatic first down.
Big mistake by Rasheem Biles because it was going to be 4th down and 4.
Yeah, and Rasheem Biles is going to come in late, and he's looking at the sidelines of Georgia Tech. Talking a little trash, celebrating that big play by Pitt. And just don't need to do it. It's so well defended. They string it all the way out. You're going to see Biles come in late, and he stares right at the sideline of Georgia Tech, and it draws the flag. Not a whole lot there, to be honest with you, Dave.
Yeah, I didn't love that call. Straight ahead on first down is Chad Alexander. I don't wonder if maybe Hosley's banged up because we're seeing more of Alexander as Brookins makes the tackle. 2nd down and 8.
Everything is difficult for Georgia Tech, though. I mean, this Pitt defense is so locked in, dialed in, whether it's between the tackles, out on the perimeter, just flying around and laying the lumber here early in this game.
King going to take off inside the 25. It's knocked to the ground, but he got the first down at the 21. Another big hit absorbed by King. This time by Rashad Battle, but King was able to move the chain.
Which is good design, quarterback draw. It opens up off the right side. Good patience there by Haynes King. And the most productive run we've seen for him all night.
In the red zone for the first time in the game. And another design quarterback run. And King walloped again at the 16-yard line. It was Battle coming in again. And King, who's battled injuries throughout his career, going back to Texas A&M, but always seems to play through them, including last year. He played most of last season with an injured shoulder. Missed 1 game this year, but that was against Gardner-Webb week 2. Trying to get Tech into the end zone for the first time tonight. King on the wide receiver screen. And Rutherford is inside the 15 down to the 13. So a short gain there. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3.
With another big hit, Bruce Brookins comes in as he pelts Malik Rutherford on this screen. Good to have Brookins back in the lineup. He had missed a couple of games with a concussion. A nice job getting Rutherford to the ground.
King to the air, now dumping it off. Alexander cannot get away from Biles. What a great play. So no gain on the play, maybe even a loss of 1, and it's 4th down, and Tech is going to kick.
Well, watch Rasheem Biles. He's all over this. These guys are so locked in. reads it the whole way, gets out there in the flats, and an outstanding tackle on the perimeter. And I got to be honest, I'm surprised the field goal unit going on.
Well, they just called a timeout, so maybe Brent Key will change his mind. But I'm with you. You heard the boos when we went to that replay. That's because the fans saw the kicker run out there.
I don't know if field goals are going to win you this game tonight.
Not the way the defense is played.
Exactly. And you need to come up with a touchdown here in this spot.
See if the offense goes out there. It would be 4th and 4 on the 13 after another negative play.
Yeah. Offense going to go out there. I think you have to, Dave. I mean, again, 3 points are points, but field goals aren't winning this football game for Georgia Tech tonight. Need your quarterback to step up and play like the player who's been all throughout the course of this season.
It's 4th down and 4. King has settled down on this drive. Part of that is getting him involved more in the run game.
2 tight ends in the game now for Georgia Tech. You can play action and throw it to those guys. See a motion across the formation.
King to throw. Going for Haynes, who catches it out of the backfield, gets a block, and gets a first down. Luke Harpring, whose dad, Matt, played 10 years in the NBA, was out there setting a screen. And it's a 1st and goal.
Well, it's basically exactly what you're going to have. Harpring's just going to get out right now, and it's going to be one-on-one, and Harpring, the lead blocker on the perimeter, as Georgia Tech gets a very important first down and a 4th down conversion.
From the pit, 5. Trying to hit pay dirt for the first time. King keeps it. King into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. FBS leading 15th rushing touchdown by a quarterback this season. And finally, the Yellow Jackets are in the end zone. The right decision by Brent Key, changing his mind and bringing the offense back out there. And now there's a little life here in the stadium. 28-7 after the Burr point after.
They're going to read the defensive end, Isaiah Neal. And it's a great read by Haynes King. Isaiah Neal is going to come inside right here and then watch the block by the tight end 88, J.T. Byrne. Perfectly executed by Georgia Tech. Neal gets too far inside. It's a keep for Haynes King. Follows his big 265-pound tight end, and he barrels into the end zone for a much-needed touchdown for Georgia Tech.
Remember the key personal foul that was called on Biles that kept that drive going for Georgia Tech. Ends up being a 15-play scoring drive by the Rambling Wreck, their longest of the season.
Potentially most important of the season, Dave. They had to respond and come up with a touchdown in that spot.
And now can the defense do its part? Get a stop and get the ball back to King with time on the clock to try to get more points before halftime. They'll have to find a way to stop Mason Heinchel, the true freshman quarterback's thrown for 2 touchdowns and run for another. And Span elects to take it out of the end zone, and he will not even make it to the 20. Slung down at the 17-yard line as we go to Matt Berry in the studio.
All right, gentlemen, your countdown, your AT&T countdown to the CFP National Championship. Bear, Bachmeier, and BYU alive in the Big 12. Bachmeier gets in from 7 yards out. Right now, BYU up early on Cincinnati, 7-0.
BYU coming into tonight ranked 11th in the latest college football playoff rankings. They passed Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor here in Atlanta. So Pittsburgh starting at its 16-yard line after Georgia Tech scored for the first time. Heinchel off play action, rolling out, throwing back across the middle, a dangerous pass. pass intended for Johnson and knocked down by Powell Lee. There is a penalty flag down.
Pass interference. Defense number 5. Ball in place for the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
The crowd doesn't like it, but it's the right call. Clayton Powell gets there too early. He's going to come through the back of Kenny Johnson. See that right arm on him, contact before the ball gets there. I'm surprised with that decision by Heinzel. I thought he had an easy out and the 2 other choices that weren't nearly as dangerous, but the pass interference gives him the first down.
From the Pitt 30. Turner off right tackle, has a gap past the 40 and finally tripped up and brought down at the 47. That's 17 more yards. Turner has 118 yards on the day.
Watch this double team inside. It's what sets this up. They are doing work on the interior of this offensive line for Pitt, and this has become the bigger problem. Pitt's ability to run the football with Boozy Turner, just something right now Georgia Tech doesn't have an answer for.
Heinzel fakes it to him this time. In trouble, hit at the 40 and sacked. And the ball's out. It's recovered by Turner of Pittsburgh. Back at the 37, a loss of 10 on the play.
Well, Blake Gideon's going to stay aggressive. He's going to bring this corner pressure off the edge. And Rodney Shelley's going to get home. He stays with it. And he gets a big sack to set up second and very long here for Pitt.
And the true freshman Turner sees it right away and jumps on the ball wisely. Second sack of the game of Heinzel. 2nd and 20. They go out of empty, and Heinzel on the quarterback draw. Able to make a defender miss. Lunges across the 40. It's a 4-yard gain, bringing up 3rd down and 16 inside 3 minutes to go in the half.
With such a big 3rd down here, if they can get a stop and get the ball back to Haynes King around the 2-minute mark, you'd have a lot of confidence and potential momentum going into half. Pressure package on the field. 1 Kamen Spalding, 15 Taj Butler.
They come after Heinzel. He's in trouble. Tries to throw it at the last second. They have not signaled yet whether he's down. They're saying it's an incomplete pass. Regardless, Pittsburgh will have to punt it away. Hoffler and Boyd had Heinzel wrapped up. There's a flag down also.
Offense number 6. Oh, he plays the spot of the foul. Loss of down. It's 4th down.
He was in the pocket. He was being taken to the ground. That is indeed grounding. And it will be Georgia Tech ball after the punt.
Well, A.J. Hoffler's going to come scot-free, but they're going to bring the backer. They're going to bring the safety. Blake Gideon is coming after Mason Heinzel here. Complete breakdown and protection off the left side. The left tackle kicks left. The guard kicks inside. And Hoffler comes scot-free.
Rivers is deep. Junko will punt. Standing back at his 13-yard line. Tech comes after it. They almost got it. Short punt. A flag down. The ball checks up and goes back into Pitt territory where it's downed at the 45 by Baines Marquez. Let's see what the flag's about, though. Just a 23-yard punt.
During the kick, personal foul, face mask, kicking team.
Wow. They're going to have the ball at the Pitt 30 with 2:10 to go. Looking to get it down to 14 before halftime.
The momentum has completely shifted here in this stadium. You could tell there was trepidation. There was fear on the players, on the fans, and all of a sudden now, some confidence as this momentum has shifted in the way of Georgia Tech.
And we saw Haynes King settle in on that last drive. He ran the ball more in that possession, got him into the end zone, his 15th rushing score. And now going to work from the Pitt 30. He fakes the run, down the seam, it's caught for a first down, stiff arming is Sider down to the 10 and all the way to the 9, a 21-yard gain for Brett Sider. It's first and goal. That takes us down to the official 2-minute timeout, but Bobby Dodd Stadium has come alive along with its quarterback, Haynes King, here late in the first half.
Well, here's Lovelace right here. He's going to bite on this, and nobody's going to identify the tight end. Seether coming out. Watch Haynes King fake it inside. Middle of the field's open, and it's a huge play for Georgia Tech, trying to get back in this ball game.
Santa, did you get my letter?
Oh, I'm not. Elf? Elf. I'm 6'3". You want your family to go to T-Mobile, where you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. Awesome cameras, epic display, right, Mrs. Claus?
Actually, I'm her much younger sister. Also, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. Dude.
Yeah.
Not you.
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
So what am I getting?
America's best network, kid.
Yards of offense and a touchdown. They were down 28-0. It was 21-0 after the first quarter. They just scored a moment ago, and now they're in a goal-to-go situation here, and a handoff to Haynes down to the 5. Jimmy Scott on the takedown, but it's a 4-yard gain. 2nd down and goal. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining.
It's a good physical run from Jamal Haynes. He was contacted right around the line of scrimmage, a little subtle cutback, and he gets north and south immediately. We've seen the senior really step up here on these last couple of drives, impacting as a ball carrier and a pass catcher out of the backfield.
Georgia Tech taking its time. They don't want Pitt to have too much time.
And I'm surprised that Pitt will start to use their timeouts as well here after this play. They're not going to let this go all the way down.
2nd and goal. King on the rollout. Throws back in the end zone too high and incomplete, intended for Rivers. Now it's 3rd down and goal.
When he had Eric Rivers on the back line, as Haynes King just off the mark, moving to his right. This ball floats on him a little bit. Scott in his face, and that pass sails high. Rivers had a step on the defender.
1:13 left. Clock stopped on the incompletion. Georgia Tech just 1 for 8 on 3rd down. You see King's passing numbers not good so far on this down. Threw an interception in the first quarter, but he ran for a touchdown in the last possession. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. Pressure in his face, throws back in the end zone. It's caught by Canyon, and he got a foot down. Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
Well, this ball can't be thrown any better. Back of the end zone. How about the footwork by Isaiah Canyon on this back line? 1, 2. That's good on Sunday from Isaiah Canyon. Perfectly placed ball. Outstanding job on that back line, getting both feet in. Huge touchdown for Georgia Tech.
3rd of the year for the 6'4" sophomore wide receiver Isaiah Canyon. And what a bounce back by Haynes King and the Georgia Tech offense. 14 quick points to make it a 2-score game with just outside a minute to go until halftime. And as poorly as Haynes King looked in the first quarter, this is the player we saw all season here in the second period.
Impacting the game as a runner, as a thrower, and leading this team to get back into this ball game. A touchdown pass, the best throw he had so far here tonight. And Isaiah Canyon, he has a pro body. Got that big size, put it in the back of the end zone and let him go make a play. The awareness, Dave, of where that back line was, just so well done by Isaiah Canyon.
A reminder of what's at stake. Georgia Tech wins. It is in the ACC Championship Game for the first time since 2014. If they lose, they'll need an awful lot of help. They likely won't make it to Charlotte. If Pittsburgh wins, they still have to beat Miami. And Virginia or SMU has to lose next week. Virginia hosts Virginia Tech. SMU goes to Cal. Got another touchback. Let's go to Matt Berry now in the studio.
All right, Dave Pass coming up on the Bud Light Halftime Report. We're going to take a look at 3 teams that could potentially be 10-2 on Selection Day and talk about whether they get in or not. Plus, you talked about the ACC. SMU, a big win today to help their chances. And the big one of the Big Ten, USC and Oregon. Oregon primed for another playoff push. We'll have that and more coming up on the Bud Light Halftime Report.
How about Notre Dame, what it did today to Syracuse, the way the Irish are playing? I know there were a lot of people that didn't like where they were ranked, but I know you feel they're one of the best teams.
I think they are one of the best teams. Remarkable, 70-7, and what they did to Pitt just a week ago.
Yeah, they bashed Pitt, 37-15. Goff straight ahead, nothing doing. Got a helmet come flying off from a Georgia Tech player. So Goff wrapped up after maybe a 1-yard gain.
And it's big Jordan Vandenberg in there, Dave. 99. He is so strong at the point of attack. Watch him just inside go to work as he sits down on this double. Just stays square, stays right there in his gap. And a nice tackle along the line of scrimmage as he loses his lid.
Now, the clock wasn't running there. It stopped at 101.
And I expect them to put the ball in Mason Eichel's hand here, Dave. Be surprised if we don't see Pitt be aggressive here before half.
Off play action. Heinchel over the middle. Oh, what a catch made by Poppy Williams for a first down at the 46. A 20-yard pickup.
The anticipation of this throw. This ball is out of Heinchel's hands before Poppy Williams is out of his break. An excellent hands to make that catch.
Heinchel again back to throw. And another great grab made by Williams inside the 35. The clock will stop to reset the chains. Each team with a pair of timeouts. It'll start on the ready for play at 45 seconds.
Poppy Williams in zone coverage finding space.
And a whistle before the snap.
Prior to the snap, play was stopped to review the previous play.
We're going to look to see if Poppy Williams secured that football. He didn't have a catch today until this drive, but back-to-back receptions, the last one for 19 yards.
And last week, there were some drops by Poppy Williams, by Blue Hicks. As we take a look at this play one more time, Poppy Williams going to the ground. Definitely nothing there, I would tell you. His hands are under, David.
So look at Charlie. Okay, so we're going to look at this view.
Yep.
Now we'll go show him replay C.
Okay, so.
And you're going to see the ball go to the ground. The hands are underneath the ball. He has control. He goes down to the ground, hits the ground, and then the ball moves up. But we still have it where there's control. Would everybody agree with that?
I agree as he maintains control for a catch.
Yes, I agree with that. We have a catch. The ruling on the field is upheld. We need to know where to put the clock.
Okay, so when we show this, the player was down and it was stopped at 45 seconds on the game clock when he went down.
Yep.
So you want to put it back at 45?
So you can put it back at 45, okay, and then we can go on the ready for play.
All right, so after further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Reset the clock to 45 seconds.
I like 46 better. I like 46 better.
46?
You like 46?
That's fine.
Okay, 46 starts on the ready.
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Do I hear 47? Or you got 46?
6-7?
There you go.
Take a pick.
The ruling on the field was upheld. Please reset the game clock to 46 seconds. It'll start on my signal.
I like the chuckle I got from you. Even Even you get the joke.
Well, I think because you and Taylor explained it to me 2 weeks ago. That's why I got it.
We love the transparency. Any chance we could get that kind of transparency with the College Football Playoff Committee? You want to talk about something that everybody would tune in.
Oh, my goodness. That would be must-see TV.
Yes, it would. Don't think we'll get that transparency, but we appreciate the ACC for what they've done this year in replay.
So first down, 43 seconds now and counting. Here in the half. Heinchel from the pocket. Delivers another strike for a first down. This time to Kenny Johnson. He scoots out after a 12-yard gain, stopping the clock at the 23-yard line with 35 seconds to go.
It's such a good route by Kenny Johnson. Inside release, then works back to the outside. It's open space. Another strike delivered by Mason Heinchel. How good has he been here before halftime with these last 3 passes, Dave?
Yeah, this is an 18-year-old true freshman who was the third-string quarterback in camp. Got the starting job midseason, taking over for Eli Holstein, who was 7-1 as a starter last year when healthy.
Look at it, checking at the line of scrimmage. He'll check the protection as he reads this defense.
Play clock down to 2. Heinchel in trouble, wrapped up and sacked back at the 30-yard line. It's Vandenberg, got his helmet back, and it's a loss of 7.
Well, he's the best player on this Georgia Tech defense, and we've seen him impact multiple plays here. Watch him work inside, just gonna dig this out. Gonna just get low, work it inside, slide protection to the left. So now he changes his rush and he starts working on 70 Bear as he gets to the quarterback and creates that negative play.
I know Georgia Tech has still given up some chunk plays, but defensively, they've been better in the last 7 or 8 minutes. What are you seeing differently?
Well, they're more aggressive. Look, they've created some pressure on Mason Heinchel. When they finally got to stop and force the punt, there were 2 sacks they created, now the 3rd sack in the last 2 possessions. So I just think they're being a little bit more aggressive. Now, we're also seeing on the back end that can be problematic. You want to bring pressure, you might expose yourself on the back, but I like that Blake Gideon saying, you know what, we've got to find a way to affect this young quarterback and bring some pressure.
And how about the response of Haynes King, though, on the offensive end for Georgia Tech? Bringing the Yellow Jackets back to within 14, but the opposing quarterback, Mason Heinchel, also with a hot hand. Just 4 incompletions on the day, 2 touchdowns through the air. He has been sacked 3 times. Georgia Tech bringing pressure. Heinchel over the middle, and there were 2 receivers kind of in the same area. Williams and Holmes, the tight end. Keep in mind here on 3rd and 17, the normal kicker for Pitt, Trey Butkowski, is out due to illness. So Sam Carpenter, who's only attempted 2 field goals all year, is the place kicker. Georgia Tech trying to avoid surrendering points here at the end of the half on a 14-0 run. 3rd down and 17 for Heinchel and the Pitt offense. They only rush 3. Heinchel in trouble, spins away from pressure. His pass is caught, but an immediate tackle made at the 23 on Goff by Cayman Spalding. It would be about a 40 or 41-yard field goal for Carpenter from here, and Pat Narduzzi going to take the clock down and use his last timeout.
I like that from Blake Gideon. He showed pressure. He's been very aggressive on 3rd down. Then he bails. You referenced the 3-man pressure and catch tackle there from Cayman Spalding.
And Carpenter, again, just 2 attempts. That was last week. He made a 24-yarder, missed another one. They do feel that he has length. You see he's got a wrap on his left hand. He injured his hand last week in the Notre Dame game. Obviously not going to impact the kicking, but
he's got 5 pins in that finger, Dave.
In case there's a bad snap and the ball's on the ground or something, he's got to jump on it.
Gutsy kicker, made a big tackle, touchdown saving tackle, but surgery on Monday led to that catch.
So again, Georgia Tech win, and the Yellow Jackets are in the ACC Championship Game. They haven't been there in 11 years. They haven't won it in 16 years. They're trying to hold on to a 14-point lead at halftime, but Sam Carpenter, a 40-yard field goal try. And he hooks it way wide to the left. Not even close. And the half comes to an end. And Carpenter's hurt. They might be down to their third kicker. Narduzzi saying there is a flag down. Narduzzi saying there should be a penalty on Georgia Tech for hitting the kicker.
I think it's going to be offsides, Dave. Off that left
Offside.
edge.
Defense, number 29. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
So now it'll be a 35-yard. Have an untimed down. Going to be a 35-yard try if Carpenter can kick. And he was shaken up after the miss.
Off the left side. Watch him get that early start. Was so consequential, too, to give this second opportunity to Carpenter.
Incidental contact there also on the right foot of Carpenter.
Keeps stretching out that left foot, Dave. His calf. He's got a cast on. He's got something going on with his lower left leg. I wonder, think about where the confidence is for this kick for Sam Carpenter.
He missed it wide left again. It was 21-0 after one, 28-0 in the second quarter. But Georgia Tech ends the half on a 14-0 run. Over the last 20 seasons in the ACC, teams are 0-340 when trailing by at least 28. But it's a 14-point game at halftime. Brent Key standing by with Taylor.
Thank you, Coach. 14 unanswered points to close out this half. What was the difference for your group?
Well, they scored 28. I mean, we spotted them 28 points. We started getting some pressure on the defense. We started getting some stops. And that's what we got to do. I mean, and then offensively, we went, 5-6 series, had one first down. So we started executing, started doing our job, settled into it, and we just got to keep doing it. One play at a time, one quarter at a time. We got a half left to play.
Thank you, Coach. Dave?
Well, Taylor, that defense gave up more than 300 yards in that first half, but they were better down the stretch. So was the offense. Heinchel threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 1. Bud Light halftime report. Matt Berry and company.
Okay, Patch, thank you. Crack a cold one. Time now for the Bud Light.
The ACC on ESPN. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, with a win, can advance to their first ACC title game in 11 years. They trail at halftime 28-14. They're in a 4-way tie in the loss column atop the ACC standings. Pitt needs to win tonight, beat Miami, and then have either a loss by Virginia or SMU. So they need help where Georgia Tech controls its own destiny. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, and Taylor McGregor. It was 21-0. Pitt was leading after 1. It was 28-0 early second, but Georgia Tech made a move. Who do you feel better about going into the second half?
Well, Georgia Tech goes in with all the momentum, and they finally got their offense to wake up. The question is, can their defense get stops? They got 2 big stops to close out the half. Now, that last one, Pitt was out of time. They had to settle for the field goal. That'll be the question in the second half. Can Georgia Tech defensively, can they get stops and slow down Mason Heinchel, Boozy Turner, and this Pitt offense?
Yeah, Turner with 120 rushing yards. Heinchel, a rushing touchdown, 2 passing touchdowns. Haynes King responded after an early interception with a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. In his final home game on senior night, the Heisman Trophy candidate, rough start, but great response. It'll come out to the Pitt 25. Moments ago, Taylor and Pitt coach Pat Narduzzi.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pat Narduzzi doesn't want to hear anything about momentum. He loves where his group is at. I asked him about the pressure that Georgia Tech started to bring defensively, and he said they can't stop us. The only reason we didn't score a touchdown there is because we ran out of time. He said, I love where my group is at. My message to these guys, 30 more minutes, let's go get them.
And I understand where he's coming from. His offense just put up 296 yards in that first half, and his defense held Georgia Tech to 111 on the other side.
Heinschel to the air on first down, and he throws for Kenny Johnson. Johnson out to the 38. He had a touchdown catch to start the scoring for Pitt in the first quarter.
With just so much space out there for Kenny Johnson. Off coverage, flat defender doesn't get there. Easy pitch and catch.
They'll give to Turner, and he's brought down short of a first down by Kelvin Hill, who replaced the injured Jai Gilmore. That isn't where Turner does his damage. He's only 180 pounds. When they get him on the perimeter, he's really dangerous. Third down and 1. But Turner able to get the first down running up the gut. They'll blow it dead at the 43 before Turner is pushed back.
The interior of this offensive line, the center, 56, Lyndon Cooper, 53, Kendall Stanley starting at left guard. They've been doing work all night. Nice job getting that push and allowing for Boozy Turner to have the space to pick up that first down.
Georgia Tech showing pressure. They'll rush 4. Heinschel stands in the pocket and dumps it off to Turner. Ankle tackle made at the 40-yard line by Omar Daniels. So just a gain of 3.
A nice job. That was a problem for them the last couple of weeks. Even some in this game, open field tackling. Omar Daniels, good close on the football as he gets Turner to the ground.
Pitt leads the ACC in scoring at 37 points per game. So not a surprise their offense has been this good. It's been better than advertised, though, here in Atlanta. Trying to keep their hopes alive of an ACC championship. They won it back in 2021. Georgia Tech won it last in 09. Perimeter run for Turner on a first down. Turner all the way down to the 37-yard line of Georgia Tech, but a late flag is thrown. Downfield, Poppy Williams, the receiver who was blocking, is arguing with the official, but it's not going to matter. And we've seen really good perimeter blocking by the receivers in the first half without holding calls, but not here.
Holding. Offense, number 3. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Outside on the perimeter. They're going to call it on 5, but also take a look at number 3, Blue Hicks. You got Poppy Williams and Blue Hicks outside. I think they called potentially the wrong number. Either way, it's a hold on the outside and negates another chunk run for Boozy Turner. The acceleration to the perimeter for this true freshman, Boozy Turner, is outstanding.
It's a spot foul, so they still gain yardage, about 4 yards, and it's second down and 3. Turner up the middle again. Tried to bounce it to the outside and got tripped up by his own offensive lineman, B.J. Williams, the right guard. A loss of 1. Third down.
It's good penetration off the right side. See B.J. Williams. Now I think he steps on the foot of 53, Kendall Stanley. And an important third down here early in this second half. Brought a lot of pressure the last 2 drives, and it was really beneficial. We'll see what Blake Gideon dials up here.
Heinchel's going to pitch it to Goff, and he's wrapped up well short of a first down by E.J. Lightsey. And it's 4th down and 3.
Well, how about the effort from E.J. Lightsey? Watch him run. He's going to make it all the way over across the top, and he's going to make this play on third down and force this punt. Just relentless effort to the football. 6'2", 235, making a play when his defense needs it.
And Pitt will punt it. Caleb Junko on to boot it deep to Eric Rivers. He'll set up the return and not come after Junko. This sails over the head of Rivers and into the end zone for a touchback. It'll be Georgia Tech ball. Down 14 early third when we come back to Atlanta.
So our wedding's in a couple of weeks. I've been thinking things over. I just needed to tell you this face to face.
Oh, don't say it.
You're gonna be eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union because I'm an Air Force veteran. My whole family can join, and you could get unlimited 2% cash back with the Cash Rewards Plus card. I know this is a lot.
Wow.
All veterans and their families can join. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Carne asada is back at Chipotle.
It's our best steak ever.
Fresh, no bad stuff.
With garlic,
Cumin, coriander. It's super tender.
juicy. People love it. And it's so good with our new red chimichurri. You're gonna want to put it on everything. 10 out of 10 flavor.
It takes fight for it.
Let's go, get it.
Things will never be the same. Nothing's more important than family.
It's closed.
What about my letter?
Call Uncle Brian.
To the North Pole?
Emma! No!
The December to Remember sales event.
You did get my letter.
Get offers on select models.
Time now for our drive recap, covered by Geico.
Well, Georgia Tech had no life the first 5 drives. They woke up the last 2. A big reason, Haynes King impacting the game with his legs. Zone read here, perfect read on the in kneel. It's a keep all the way as he barrels into the end zone. Now a decoy, gonna fake the run, hit his big tight end side, they're over the middle, and the best pass he delivered this entire first half, back of the end zone to his big 6'4" target, Canyon, as he toe taps that back line for a touchdown.
Jamal Haynes, the ball carrier on first down, doesn't get much. Dusty, it seemed like Georgia Tech's offense changed when they started to get Haynes King involved in the run game.
Well, it's because he's such a big factor. I think it got him going a little bit. They didn't run him much at all those first 5 possessions. I think it took a couple of runs, a couple of shots that he was able to take to get him in the flow, get him into a rhythm, and we'll see if that continues here in this second half.
Rushing touchdown, and the first touchdown of the game for Tech, then a passing touchdown, which we just showed you, to make it 28-14. Now he'll throw, steps up away from pressure, and a strike across the middle. Canyon all the way down to the 45 of Pittsburgh. A big play through the air for Georgia Tech.
Well, it's going to be pressure by Neal. Watch him step up in this pocket, climb, eyes down the field, and an absolute dart over the middle to Isaiah Canyon.
Most explosive offensive play of the game. It goes for 33 yards. Back to the rushing attack, and nothing there for Haynes. Jimmy Scott backside made the tackle for Pittsburgh, a yard downfield.
He was missing those throws early in this ball game. He missed several throws that you would think are layups. He's clearly in a better place. He's been able to clear out the early struggles and really starting to find good accuracy down the field.
Finally over 100 yards passing on the day. They're still not able to run it on first down. Only a yard. King throwing on second down again. Wide open is Rivers. And he's able to break a tackle and stretch out to move the sticks at the 33. Gain of 11 yards and another first down.
Eric Rivers was a third-team All-American a year ago. Watch this route. Working the comeback. That defender continues to build. Battle gets turned around. Again, good timing from Haynes King, and another first down for Georgia Tech.
Jamal Haynes, straight ahead. Upended at the line to gain, the 23-yard line by McIntyre. And an injured Pitt Panther, Francis Brew.
Well, watch this, Dave. Just good blocking on the interior. Zoning to the left. 52, Harrison Moore. The combo up to the second level helped spring this run by Jamal Haynes.
Well, they've got a veteran group up front. So Joe Fusel in his 37th straight start at left guard. Playing his final home game on senior night. One more game for Georgia Tech. It'll be against Georgia, ABC on Black Friday, but that'll be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
And this is starting to resemble the offense that Georgia Tech has been all season, especially as of late. The last 3 games, they've been averaging 576 yards over the last 3, and coming into tonight, the #1 offense in college football. Francis Brew was down earlier as well, and reminder, Sean Fitzsimmons is out for Pittsburgh at defensive line.
So here's, just in case you're still not sure the change this year. The 5 highest ranked conference champions receive automatic bids, but the top 4 teams in the rankings get a bye, not the highest 4-ranked chance, which was the case last year. 7 at-large teams. And as we look at our college football playoff bracket brought to you by Verbo, you're going to see Miami here because they're the highest ranked ACC team, and it's basically a placeholder for now because their chances of winning the ACC Championship very slim. The winner will get an automatic bid to the college football playoff.
Yeah, they're in as the 11th seed, but they're ranked 13 overall behind BYU and Utah. And I think it was smart by them to change the seeding, Dave. I didn't think it made a lot of sense from a season ago. I like the fact that they're going to have the 4 highest ranked teams garnering those spots and getting the bye.
So they're reviewing the spot. The ruling of the field is a first down.
After further review, the runner was down short of the line to gain. It's second down.
So he's short. It's going to be second down. But you saw the chances there for Georgia Tech. A loss, they're not going to be in the playoff. They're not going to be in the ACC Championship game more than likely because you still would have Pitt, SMU, and Virginia with 1 loss.
Yeah, and then if you get to 2 losses, right, if other teams lose, they fall way down in the tie-break scenarios. So, look, it's do or die. It's win this game for both of these teams tonight. The stakes are unbelievably high. For Pitt, it's not as clear-cut. They need other things to happen, but to stay alive, both of these teams have to win this game.
Hosley back out there after getting banged up in the first half, and he's able to move the chains this time to the 22.
Malachi Hosley's been a great addition to this team this year. He's got excellent vision, burst, chunk play runner, and it's been a limited role for him here tonight, but an important conversion there on second down.
King going to take off inside the 10. Oh, he lowers the shoulder on the defender, Baines Marquez. He picks up 17, and it's first and goal on the 5. This is the Haynes King we expected to see all night.
Well, this is so well done. They've been throwing this swing outside all night to Jamal Haynes. Now they fake it. You see the backers go over the top, and Haynes King sees the open space off the left side.
Midway through the third quarter, Georgia Tech on the doorstep, trying to pull within 1 score. King taking it himself, trying to cut it back, and he spun down in the backfield at the 9-yard line. Joey Zielinski with the takedown. A negative play. It's second and goal. About the 8-yard line is where they'll spot it.
They like to run Haynes King on that quarterback sweep to the boundary. It's extremely well defended. Pitt ready for that. And a nice play by Zielinski.
So second and goal on the 7. Pitt among the nation's leaders in tackle for losses. They got another one there. A setback of 2 yards. King moving left. Fakes the dump off pass. Runs it himself. Got back to the 5 before he's wrestled down by Lovelace. Third and goal coming up.
A good defense there. Haynes King just trying to make a play. Nothing available for Haynes King as he moves to his left. It's well defended. He wanted to try to find Seither. And you see Pitt rallying to the football to get King to the ground. One-on-one down low with Isaiah Canyon. That's size advantage.
Yep, threw a touchdown pass earlier to Canyon. He'll throw again on third and goal. And his pass is intercepted. It's picked off by Lovelace. He might run it back. Lovelace is gone. What an incredible turnaround. It looks like Georgia Tech's going in to make it a 1-score game. Instead, a 100-yard pick 6 for the Panthers.
What a defensive play by Braylon Lovelace. And a terrible, devastating mistake by Haynes King. Wow. What a game-changing play for this Pitt defense. Taking it all the way back for a huge defensive score.
A 14-point swing in about 14 seconds. Carpenter able to make the point after. 35-14 Pittsburgh.
Randy Bates dials it up. 23, Marquez off one edge, Biles off the other, and watch Lovelace inside. He's hugged up at the line of scrimmage. He's going to bail on the snap. And Haynes King's never going to see him. He's under pressure. He's off his back foot. And it's Braylon Lovelace who steps in front and takes it all the way to the house for a massive touchdown for Pitt. Haynes King's devastated after that.
Hey, co-pilot. How do I go there?
What sort of thrust does this thing have on it?
Hey, co-pilot, that's a cool mic. What is it?
That's the HyperX Quadcast 2S.
Celebrate these moments then with Chick-fil-A's winning playbook. Get your catering delivered for kickoff with the Chick-fil-A app.
Pittsburgh with its 4th interception return for a touchdown this season. 3 of those by linebackers. This kick goes out of bounds. It'll be good field position for Georgia Tech, but how will Haynes King respond to his 2nd interception of the game? He had 2 all season coming in, and now he's thrown 2 here tonight. In his final game here at Bobby Dodd Stadium, it was 28-0 Pittsburgh. Georgia Tech cut it to 14 at halftime. Looked like they're going in maybe to make it a 1-score game, but Lovelace had something to say about that.
Just a completely game-changing, game-altering play made by Braylon Lovelace. And a critical mistake by Haynes King. He was under pressure, under duress. Never saw Braylon Lovelace drop from inside. And not just getting the interception, but the convoy he had as he took it down the sidelines to the house.
Javon McIntyre is the injured Pitt player. And again, that kickoff went out of bounds.
We talked about this linebacking core of Pittsburgh. And it's Rasheem Biles and it's Kyle Lewis that kind of garner most of the headlines as McIntyre walks off. But Braylon Lovelace, they moved him inside to that Mike Backer. He's grown so much since last year. Randy Bates was praising his growth throughout the course of this season. And he has potentially one of the most impactful plays for this Pitt defense they've had all year.
And Haynes King, Heisman Trophy candidate, ACC Player of the Year candidate. Played his worst game of the season so far, but plenty of time. He bounced back once. Can he do it again? Pressure in his face. He'll hoist it deep and just throws it out of play, it appears. Eric Rivers in the area. Harrison downfield in coverage for Pittsburgh.
Wayne Spires, unaccounted for, coming off the edge, forces that errant throw there by Haynes King. Boy, he has felt a lot of pressure. We talked about it. We touched on it in the first half, and pressure continues to come here in the second half.
Well, this place got quiet in a hurry. It was jumping about a minute ago. Quick throw to the flat. Hosley bumped out by Biles at the 40. So a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 5. You in 4-down territory this stage?
I think you are. I mean, depending on what happens here, obviously you can't take a sack in a spot like this, but
clock nearing 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. King. Oh, and he had Canyon. He just overthrew him. Trying to hit him at the 40 of Pitt.
Yeah, he's wide open, Dave, and this great route. Zone coverage by Pitt. See that corner jump the flat route. Safety can't get over the top, and a misfire by Haynes King as the offense stays on the field.
Now 15 of 26 passing, 2 interceptions, a touchdown. He also had a rushing score. 4th and 5. From the Georgia Tech 40. Pitt rushes 4. King fires, knocked away, incomplete. What a play by Battle. It was intended for Canyon. But Battle's 6'3", Canyon 6'4", big body, but Battle matches him and knocks it away to turn over the Yellow Jackets on downs.
Well, you touched on it. The size of Battle really comes into play here. It's 6'3" on 6'4", and he's in perfect position. Works back with the comeback. That left hand knocks the ball out, and a second straight stop for Pitt.
Takes over on downs at the Georgia Tech 40 with a 21-point lead after a back-breaking interception thrown by Haynes King, returned 100 yards for a touchdown, the first in the ACC in 11 years. Turner looking for a cutback lane. He's tackled for a loss of about 4 or 5 by Vandenberg. Let's bring in Jerry McGinn for this last fourth down pass play. Pass interference on the defense or no pass interference, Jerry?
I tell you, Dave, you see the quarterback throwing up to the back shoulder. Number 15 in the defense grabs him. He's all over him. I'm surprised the field judge didn't have a flag for this.
A tug on the arm at the end, I think definitely could have warranted a flag.
Would have been an automatic first down. Georgia Tech would still have the ball. Instead, it's second down and 14 after the 4-yard loss. Bring pressure up the middle. Heinchel hit and sacked back at the 42 by Spalding.
When Caven Spalding times this up, it's like he's shot out of a cannon. And watch him come over the top of Boozy Turner. Turner tries to go low. And how about that, like a cat on all fours as he gets to Mason Heinchel and gets a big sack. That's an athletic play, timing up that blitz and coming over the top of Turner to complete that sack.
Fourth sack of the day of Heinchel, now third down and 26. Inside 4 minutes to go in the third. Wide receiver screen to Hicks. And he's dragged to the ground at midfield. Just a 6-yard gain, and so a punt coming up, but Pitt can pin Georgia Tech deep.
That's big. I mean, look, you just got stopped. Georgia Tech, you know, Pitt gets the ball in that field position on the 40, and then to back them up 10 yards, that's a huge answer there from this Georgia Tech defense, who, by the way, now 4 straight possessions has come up with a stop. They're starting to get a little momentum and have some answers for Mason Heinchel, and the #1 key to it has been the pressure they've been able to deliver and continue to bring on the freshman quarterback.
Yeah, the offense for Georgia Tech has been the problem of late, not the defense. And the turnovers. Over the head of the return man and into the end zone for a touchback. Here's a look at the National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Georgia Tech currently ranked 16th. Miami is the higher-ranked ACC team, but unlikely that Miami could get into the ACC Championship Game, so they would have to get an at-large berth.
That's a good-looking trophy. Love this expanded playoff. So many more teams relevant late in the season. So many more games impactful here down the stretch.
Winner of the ACC Championship in Charlotte in 2 weeks. Most likely gets an automatic bid to the CFP. Here's King on the run. And he's still going. Or he's finally tackled close to a first down. Again, if Georgia Tech is able to come back and win, they secure a spot in Charlotte. Pitt needs to win, beat Miami next week, and get some help from others.
And I think they want to start to play with some pace. You're down 3 touchdowns, and we're approaching the end of the third quarter, and they quickly get ready to snap it.
King fakes the pitch to the tailback, steps up, runs again, and again a big hit. Scott and Lewis meet at the quarterback at the 35-yard line. A 5-yard gain as we near 2 minutes to go here in the third.
Fake that toss. We see him run the counter back off of that so many times. He wanted to push it down the field. It was well covered. So Haynes King wisely just takes what he can get on first down.
King again forced to take off, and he gets a first down. The fact that Pitt is up by 21, it really shouldn't be a surprise. The job that Pat Narduzzi has done in 11 years in Pittsburgh, they've got at least 1 win against a ranked team. 9 of the last 10 years. They won the ACC back in 2021. And again, made a quarterback change, going to a true freshman middle of the season from a guy who's a veteran, played at Alabama, transferred to Pitt. And it changed their season when he made that move. Low snap, a flag before the snap.
Ball start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, he's been to the ACC Championship game twice. He's trying to make it his third, and he's trying to get his second ACC Championship victory. Won it back in 21 with Kenny Pickett as quarterback, who also was one of his starting quarterbacks as a freshman. He said there's a lot of similarities to Mason Heinchel and Kenny Pickett. But when we had them all the way back against Florida State, it was Heinchel's second start. He told us then, I think we have the team that can win the ACC, and they've been playing like it.
They'll need help to have a shot at that. First things first, they got to shut down Georgia Tech. Check down pass to Allen, and he's out of bounds at the 43, a 5-yard gain. So they got the 5 yards back that the penalty cost them, but the clock not their friend. A minute remaining here in the third. Slowing it down a little bit now after tempo earlier on this drive. $21-0 after the first in favor of Pitt. 28-0 with 11 minutes to go in the second. Georgia Tech gets within 14 at halftime, but the penalties start to catch up to him here.
Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
7 now on the Panthers.
Yeah, sorry, Harrison Moore just flinches, moves quickly before he snaps the football, just shooting themselves in the foot.
Check that 7 on Georgia Tech. 6 penalties on the Panthers, and now 2nd and 15 for the Yellow Jackets. Inside 30 seconds to go. They fake the jet sweep. King setting up. Again, checks it down to Hosley. Tried to spin away from Biles, and he got chopped to the ground. Just a 1-yard gain on the final play likely of this third quarter.
Pitt has been so good, Dave, tackling on the perimeter. Just a really good job there by Biles as we close out the third.
The difference in this second half, the game-changing play by Braylon Lovelace, a 100-yard pick six. Looked like it was going to be a 7-point game. Instead, Lovelace makes it a 21-point lead for Pitt as we go to the fourth in Atlanta.
Oh, not again.
Poor dear.
Welcome, Mrs. C.
Yeah, they want to
Don't let anything stop you.
Let's fly.
The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration has the very latest in style, safety, and tech.
I'm offering the chance to play roles with a real meaning.
I'm just an actor. I don't know how to help people.
Now in theaters, Academy Award winner Brendan Fraser delivers a masterful performance.
Thank you for doing this.
Of course. Mental Family, only in theaters. PG-13.
Some people know me for what I've done on the field, but I'm even more proud of what I've done off it. These McGuffies here, wore them to karaoke night. People said I slayed. Their words, not mine. Johnston & Murphy, made for the moment.
Ebenezer! Let me stop you there, chaps. All this bar humbug business was just me sleep apnea. But with this Inspire implant, I'm a new man.
If CPAP doesn't work for you, check out Inspire Therapy. Learn more and view safety info at inspiresleep.com.
Let's go, bud.
ESPN.
Coach Haynes King has guided this group to a fourth quarter comeback before. What does he have to do to get another one tonight?
Yeah, well, we got to execute. I mean, we can't shoot ourselves in the foot. We can't have these self-defeating errors. I mean, with false starts. I mean, we have drops. You know, we just got to. Everybody's got to step up around them, and we got to be able to do it. With plenty of time to get it done. All right, we got to get some tempo, got to get some rhythm, but we can't do it when we're hurting ourselves and killing ourselves.
Thank you, Coach. Dave?
King wrapped up by Biles at the 49. Vicious tackle, and it's going to be fourth down and about 5. We saw those comeback wins, 7 of them, most in the FBS, 3 of them in the fourth quarter. But this is the largest deficit they've faced this season. In fact, the largest comeback in school history is from 21 down. Wow. Another false start.
Wow. Haynes King just got 10 yards back on third down. Now the right side of the offensive line moves, and The third false start on this drive.
Offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Now they got to punt. They got to punt the ball here.
They just can't do it. I mean, right on cue with Taylor's interview with Brent Key, you can't shoot yourself in the foot. You can't false start. And they're on that crucial 4th and 5. That's exactly what you do.
The turnovers, the mental errors, been devastating to Georgia Tech's ACC Championship Game hopes. Johnson makes the fair catch inside the 10. And now a quick word from Verbo.
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. That's the rule.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, get the vacation you expect and never a hovering host.
Georgia Tech's dream of a first ever college football playoff berth on the ropes. They lost 2 games ago to NC State. They had to come from 11 down last week to beat Boston College, and now they trail by 21, and they don't have the ball early in the 4th against Pittsburgh. Panthers keep it on the ground. Goff out to the 14. Tackled by Lightsey, but that's a good pickup on the ground on first down, and that'll keep the clock running a minute into the 4th.
The defense has really stepped up. I mentioned 4 straight stops the last 4 possessions. It's the offense here in this second half that has faltered. The big pick 6 and obviously back-to-back possessions. One, they get turnover on downs, and that previous punt.
Goff again with room off the right edge. And a first down out to the 21. 4 teams with 1 loss. If Pitt hangs on, it'll be Pitt, Virginia, and SMU, all with 1 loss. Pitt will need to beat Miami next week, and Virginia Tech or SMU will need to lose. Virginia plays Virginia Tech, SMU plays Cal. And it all changed when Pat Narduzzi made the move to the guy that's taking snaps right now, Mason Heinchel, 18-year-old true freshman quarterback who enrolled in January after graduating high school early. His only offers were Pitt, Ohio, Liberty, and Bowling Green. He's sacked here by Harvey back at the 15 on first down. 5th time he's been sacked, but he does not play like the lights at all are too bright.
No. Not at all. He, from the first time he was put into this spot, I mean, mature beyond his years, an outstanding leader. And we've seen him just time and time again throughout the course of the season make big plays when his team has needed him. Been extremely efficient with the football here tonight.
In his first start, which came against BC, he threw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. The first true freshman to do that in the ACC in his first start since Deshaun Watson. Heinchel steps away from pressure and finally brought down, but that's a gain of about 10 as we check in with Taylor.
To your point about Mason Heinchel's leadership, one thing I've noticed with him is he rarely sits on the sideline. He's always up communicating with his teammates, whether that's the offensive line, the receivers, going up and down the sideline, talking to everyone. It's a different type of leadership, but certainly apparent down here, guys.
Well, he grew up in a sports family. His dad, Eric, played baseball at Michigan. The pass incomplete through the hands of Goff. He probably would not have gotten the first down anyway. So it's 4th down, but Pitt took a couple minutes off the clock there. It's at 11:53, and Pitt's up 21.
We've talked a lot about Mason Heinchel. Another person deserves a lot of credit is Kate Bell, the 32-year-old offensive coordinator, and he has completely flipped and turned this Pittsburgh offense. When he took over this job, they were dead last in points per game, and as we've referenced several times tonight, now in his 2nd season as the offensive coordinator and doing it with a freshman quarterback that he handpicked. They're now number 1 in the conference in points per game.
Georgia Tech could use a big return from Eric Rivers. Rivers has a beat on it. He stumbled as he secured the ball at the 39. So decent field position. They're going to actually spot him at the 37. Georgia Tech. It's now or never for the Yellow Jackets.
ProEnamel, clinical enamel strength, can help us to keep our enamel for a lifetime. It's backed by science. It is clinically proven to strengthen our teeth. I would recommend this toothpaste to everybody. It's really an amazing product.
People think that players who step on the field are the toughest, the ones who never give up. But real strength?
Haynes King trying to deliver a miracle. As we look at our Athletic Trivia question, King started Longview High School, the same school as this NFL player with the most Pro Bowls among active players. Who is it?
Great trivia question.
You have an idea? I'll give you a hint. It's someone in the trenches, someone you can appreciate. Okay? He might have played against him. He's been around so long. King dumps it off here to Malik Rutherford up the sideline on first down before he's out of bounds in midfield for a 13-yard gain.
I think he might have to save alma mater as me, potentially. Is it Trent Williams?
Well, we got to answer the question. We got to do the whole...
Oh, sorry. Oh, well, when it comes back.
Make some money here and get it at Affleck. You did this last week, too.
No.
Just hold your water over there. You'll get another chance to answer it.
Maybe it's the wrong answer. Nice pickup there for Georgia Tech to start the drive.
King with time. Receiver open and a nice catch made. Again, it's Rutherford, a gain of 20.
How about the adjustment on this football from Malik Rutherford? Plucks this out of the air. I think Rutherford just a little bit frustrated. If that ball is in front of him, he's going to run with that, but he adjusts to it, makes a nice catch.
King, pocket breaking down, and he's able to deliver a strike to Haynes, who breaks tackles and is to the 25. So a gain of 5 on the play. Clock nearing 10 minutes to go. Georgia Tech down 21.
They've got to operate quickly. Was surprised the last possession before the end of the third quarter. They really slowed down. Time is not on their side right now, down 3 touchdowns.
King swings it out to Haynes. Blockers in front, first down Haynes. And he's to the 15-yard line.
Good perimeter blocking out there on the edge. 7, Bailey Stockton. 9, Zion Taylor. Really helped spring that pickup for Jamal Haynes on the perimeter. Left tackle Ethan McKinney checked out. Like 70, Jamison Riggs checks in on the left side of the offensive line.
King gonna run right downhill inside the 10, grounded at the 7-yard line. A gain of 7 or 8 on the play. Biles on the tackle. 9.5 to go. King with 71 rushing yards and a touchdown. He's thrown for 175 and a score, but he also threw 2 interceptions. The last one returned 100 yards for a touchdown. So keep it here. And he's inside the 5. Going to be first down and goal.
One thing we know about Haynes King, he's going to leave it all on the field here tonight. You won't find a tougher player in college football as he continues to have his number called here in this fourth quarter. Going to do whatever he can to get his team back in this ball game.
They're going to go quicker, though.
It's taking too long.
And they got to get in quick as well, not waste time down here. Haynes dives for the end zone. And they're going to mark him short. Going to be second and goal, so that clock is running.
They need to get on the football and go.
Now Haynes is laying on the ground. Now he's got a teammate on top of him, so he can't get up. They got to stop the clock here for an injured player.
On the field as the ball carrier was short of the goal line. Timeout for an injury to an offensive player.
Thought they should have called the timeout 10 seconds earlier when they clearly saw that Haynes and the offensive lineman couldn't get up. And if it's a touchdown, they'll put a lot more time back on because clock would have stopped on the score at about 8:38.
Take a look here, Jamal Haynes. He goes to the ground. It's tough to see from that angle. It looks like he crosses. It never looked, Dave, from that vantage point like the knee hit the ground.
Paulo Tupuola is the injured player. You see him get bent back there.
So if I come back to the near cart, so we know his knees are up there. If I come back to the near cart, that ball is extended over the goal line before his knees ever come down.
Okay.
So we're going to change the ruling on the field to a score.
Okay.
Right.
So we're going to overturn the ruling on the field, and we're going to make this a touchdown. Are you guys both in agreement?
I am in agreement.
Okay. So after further review, it's a touchdown.
It is a touchdown.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
But they also have to put time back on the clock. You didn't hear that discussion there. They're going to have to add a number of seconds here.
It's a touchdown.
Every second matters right now for Georgia Tech. So let's see how much time is put back on the clock. Would imagine Brent Key is going to go say something to the official.
I'd be surprised if they don't look at it again. That was not part of the discussion at all. It's a little surprising.
We're on for the extra point. It's a 2-score game. It's down to 14. But again, they did not fix the clock, at least not yet. There is a flag down. This is going to help Georgia Tech on the kickoff because it's going to be on Pittsburgh. You got a chant from the fans here saying fix the clock. So everybody's seeing it right now with the exception of the officials.
Yeah, they need to take a look at this.
I think Brent Key is discussing with...
Yeah, we got the game clock right here, Dave. Ball's over, should stop there at 44.
Foul, hands to the face, defense number 4. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Try is good. Timeout on the field.
I mean, that's 18 seconds.
18 seconds.
They got to put time back on the clock to get this figured out here during the break. Right now it's at 8:26. It's 35-21 Pitt.
When your team wins, you feel like a winner. But when your team wins and you get your favorite burrito delivered with DoorDash, you feel like a winner. Maybe that's too much winning energy. DoorDash, your door to that winning energy.
Welcome to Ashley's Black Friday mattress event. Get a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases designed to elevate your comfort and sleep experience. Plus, you can snooze now and pay later with 0% interest for 72 months. Ashley's Black Friday mattress event. Don't miss it.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the strength of this King Henry, but getting that King Henry.
Huzzah! Salutations! I'm here to lead the team.
No,
I don't want it! No! Sorcery! Behold my majestic strides!
You okay?
No, I am not.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
An ad saying the same thing, only first and true. Check out T-Mobile and experience what it means to have America's best network. Hey, dude, you won't believe where I am.
Looking at the Taco Bell Live My Student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live My Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? That student section, very curious why they didn't put time back on the clock. Jerry McGinn, our rules expert, let's bring in here. Tell us why.
At this point in the game, with so much time left, by rule, they will not adjust the clock when they go to replay. So they stop the game. The game was stopped for an injury, but if the clock was under 2 minutes, they would adjust it. If it was under 5 minutes, they would have the chance to do it.
So an onside kick. And Pitt got it. Jerry, is that a new rule? And if so, why?
So this is the rule that came about this year to really keep the game moving and make sure that there wasn't time put on that wasn't really necessary to put on. It's one that they're constantly looking at, and a situation like this where a team is trying to come back 9 minutes to go in the game, they may want to adjust it, but it's by rule, it's not adjustable.
I understand you're saying it's by rule. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You're going through all that process to do the replay. You can clearly see time should be added. should be able to add the time in a spot like that.
Especially when it's that amount of time, 18 seconds. Dump off to Turner, brought down at the 41 as we near 8 minutes to go. Georgia Tech down 14. Pitt needs to win, beat Miami next week, get a little help to make it to the ACC title game. Georgia Tech, for all intents and purposes, eliminated from the ACC Championship Game and the college football playoff with the loss. They played Georgia on Friday on ABC, 3:30. Pitt would need either Virginia or SMU to lose, and they would have to beat Miami in Pittsburgh next week. Virginia plays Virginia Tech. SMU takes on Cal. That ball thrown backwards to Turner and brought down at the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 3rd and long.
Big 3rd down coming up for this Georgia Tech defense, and they have come up big late in the first half, all the way into the second half. The only points in this second half we're not giving up on this Georgia Tech defense. It was the pick 6. Would be a huge stop, showing pressure here at the line of scrimmage once again.
Heinzel in trouble, gets away, still going. They can't get him. And Heinzel going to throw it downfield. Along the sideline, incomplete, intended for Williams. That stops the clock with 7:05 to go, and it's 4th and 9, and Pitt will likely punt it back to Georgia Tech.
Well, good pressure there. It's Tajay Butler initially that gets him. Poppy Williams tries to drag the feet and catch this football. Looks like by the time he catches the ball, he's out of bounds, and it's an incompletion and another stop for this Georgia Tech defense. They have just been outstanding. For as bad as they were early in this ball game, they've been equally as good just to give Georgia Tech a chance to get back in this game. And the pressure, Blake Gideon continues to dial up the pressure on Mason Heinzel.
And they fake it. It's a direct snap, and the up back falls down. Direct snap to Hicks. He stumbles and falls down, and Georgia Tech's going to have the ball inside the Pitt 40-yard line. What a gamble by Pat Narduzzi that does not pay off.
Well, he's right here, okay? And they're going to direct snap it to him, and he's going to try to work to his left, and he just slips and falls. The turf monster gets him. And I got to be honest with you, Dave. If you're Pat Narduzzi, risk reward in that spot. What are we thinking here? I mean, I know it's all about rolling the dice and gambling when you do something like that. But all of a sudden now you give Georgia Tech a short field and a chance to cut this to a 1-score game.
With 7 minutes to go, plenty of time to get 2 possessions. They go empty for Haynes King. Time to throw. Steps up, throws it deep. Oh, what a catch inside the 15-yard line. It's Canyon hauling it in.
Wow, Haynes King's going to step up, put the ball up in the air, and watch Isaiah Canyon climb the ladder, high point this football, and bring it in.
Boy, when he threw that ball, I thought it was going to be a pick.
I mean, the elevation to go get that was insane.
Wide receiver screen, Stockton inside the 10. Dropped by Lewis at the 8 after a gain of 6. They can get a first down before Paydirt. Clock is running, closing in on 6 minutes to go. Haynes King has been in this position before, 3-1 when trailing, entering the 4th quarter. Some of his best moments this year have come in the final frame. King will run, lowers his head, and is close to a first down at the 2-yard line. It will be 1st and goal, Georgia Tech. 5:45 and counting in the 4th.
I love that quarterback draw. Follow your center. Follow Tupuola, and I'm not letting this ball out of Haynes King's hands.
They bring in a fullback, and Haynes stumbles and falls down at the 5. May have gotten stepped on by an offensive lineman, and he did not like the Pitt defender, Biles, staying on top of him and had words with him.
And it was his center. It was Tupuola who steps on him. They don't do a lot of things under center. And watch the left foot of the center steps back, gives ground right there on the foot of Haynes King.
So it's costing them time. And yards. 2nd and goal now from the 5. King and throws high, trying to hit Beetham. It was well covered by Brookins. Clock stops at 4:56. Obviously 4 down territory, 2 downs to get it in from the 5.
That's good coverage down the field. That's one of their favorite plays. Fake the toss, quarterback counter, and they tried to hit the tight end, Beetham in the back of the end zone. Well covered on the back end by Pitt.
It was 21-0 after 1. 28-0 early 2nd quarter, Pitt in front. Georgia Tech stormed back. Looked like they were going to go down 7, but a 100-yard pick 6 by Braylon Lovelace stretched the lead back to 21 for Pitt. Georgia Tech scored on its last drive, looking again to make it a 7-point game on 3rd and goal. King steps up, back of the end zone, throw. Canyon's got it. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. The gamble by Pat Narduzzi on the fake punt, really costly. Because it's a 1-score game with 4:51 to play. (35-28).
Well, it starts with the highly questionable call, Pat Narduzzi, to go with this fake punt. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he's doing. But Hicks stumbles, falls, and Georgia Tech gets the ball. And you want to talk about stepping up and making plays. How about Isaiah Canyon climbing up, bringing it in, and then for a 2nd time tonight, back in the end zone, back line, it's King to Canyon, and Georgia Tech back in this game.
Good hands play. Watch this by Darius Davis. Scoop, score, tree, the game. Right now, Stanford up on Cal, 24-10.
Matt, we welcome you back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Experian. We've got a game, again, where it looked like after that pick 6, Pitt would win and keep its hopes alive of an ACC championship. They didn't need the onside kick because there's 4:51 left, so they kick it deep. The touchback will come out to the 25. And look at this. The last 20 years, teams are 0-340 when they trail by at least 28 points. It was 28-0 with 11 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter in favor of Pittsburgh. Their largest come from behind win, Georgia Tech, was back in 1998 when they were down by 21. They came back to win against Virginia. Georgia Tech did.
And I got to give this Georgia Tech defense so much credit. First 5 possessions, 28 points. Last 6 possessions, no points for Pitt. As they've got a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence as they've been bringing heat on Mason Heinchel.
Play action. Heinchel hits Hicks, and he's hit immediately by Harvey at the 30-yard line. Taylor?
Mason Heinchel down here challenging his group. It is about how we respond. Let's control the tempo of this game and make them respond to us. This is still our game.
Well, that was a good way to start the drive. A 6-yard gain inbounds, clock moving.
And you love to hear that. A true freshman, 18 years old, the confidence he has, and he's the leader. He's the one telling these guys what we need to do in this spot.
Gonna run Turner, and he slammed to the ground. No gain on the play. A.J. Hoffler in there first. It is 3rd down.
It's A.J. Hoffler. It's Jordan Vandenberg. There's just nowhere to run right now in the interior of that front for Georgia Tech. Clay Gideon's bringing pressure here.
And just 27 yards of offense for Pitt here in the 2nd half. Trying to keep the clock moving with first downs. They are facing a 3rd and 4 from their 31.
That's one Spalding.
Heinchel has a completion and a first down out to the 45, and it's Hicks. Gain of 14.
Well, this is a great find. Hicks is going to come out of your screen and just come sit right in here. And Mason Heinchel is going to find it. They dialed up that pressure. They brought it. And getting the ball out quickly, the true freshman on a massive 3rd down.
Georgia Tech has all of its timeouts and the official 2-minute timeout. They stack the box, bringing the safety down on first down for Pitt, trying to take the play clock down inside 10 seconds before they snap it. We're inside 3 minutes now in the game clock. Give to Turner, up the middle, first down and more. Inside the 30, Turner inside the 10, all the way for the Pittsburgh touchdown. And possibly the dagger on Georgia Tech's ACC title game hopes.
Well, sometimes you got to roll your sleeves up and you got to get nasty along the line of scrimmage. The right side of this offensive line, 55, B.J. Williams. Watch 70, Bear, and what he's about to do to the edge here from Georgia Tech. Almost a club pushover, buries that defensive end, opens a massive hole up for Boozy Turner. And what a night for Boozy Turner. 190 on the ground, and what feels like a game-sealing touchdown.
Pitt needs this win, and the win against Miami plus some help. A loss next week by either SMU or Virginia to make it to the ACC title game. A Georgia Tech loss. They would need more help than Pitt does, with 2 losses in conference play, to get to Charlotte. And a Pitt team that nobody thought in early October would be in the ACC title game race after a loss to West Virginia. But they make the quarterback change to Mason Heinchel. It ignites their offense. They end up leading the conference in scoring coming in, and they're now 241 away from a huge victory here on the road. And it's not just, as you said, the true freshman Heinchel. It's Boozy Turner, the true freshman running back, the change they made to go with him.
Well, Desmond Reed's out. And so with Desmond Reed being out, somebody's got to step up. And it's a true freshman who's just gotten better and better and better throughout the course of the season. And what an impact he's had on this game. And if you're a Pitt fan, you just start to think about potentially the future. And both of these true freshmen, what they have meant to this run to put themselves in position with next week, that big game against Miami. And obviously other things have to happen and fall their way. But just the chance to be in the conversation going into the final weekend and have a chance to go to Charlotte to compete for an ACC championship. It's extremely impressive, and especially by that man, Mason Heinchel. That third down throw, Dave, I mean, knowing exactly where to go. Pressure coming from the opposite side. He takes that snap, and the ball is out immediately as he finds Blue Hicks. And then Boozy Turner turns on the burners, and he gets that big touchdown.
Now, Georgia Tech isn't done. They have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute official timeout, but obviously they need a score, likely need to recover an onside kick, and then another score. Can they move the ball quickly down the field? King flipping it deep along the sideline, and it's a catch in Pitt territory at the 39-yard line by Bailey Stockton. And so it's a gain of about 25. Clock stopped for the moment on first downs, and then it restarts as we near 2 minutes to go. King looking underneath and a flag thrown as he was trying to hit Canyon. He got tangled up with Rashad Battle.
This might get this on offensive, Dave.
Pass interference, offense number 4, 15-yard penalty. It's first down.
Isaiah Canyon gives a little 2-hand shove into the back of Rashad Battle.
And Battle fell down. Don't know if that was because of the shove or a little bit of acting there at the end. There definitely was the extension of the arms.
It's a tough spot for the official, right? He sees that extension. Yeah. The defender goes down. It draws the flag.
So it's first down and 25. King has nowhere to go with the ball, and then it's tipped and incomplete. Jimmy Scott got a hand up. Clock stopped at 2:16 to go. Second down and 25. If Pitt were to hang on, what does this do for the ACC in terms of the college football playoff picture?
Well, I mean, look, there's obviously the clear path with the ACC champion. So, I mean, it impacts it from that standpoint. Clearly, Pitt's still alive.
King stepping up. And down he goes after a gain of 2, bring it up third down.
I don't really know how it impacts it any other way. You know, Miami is still sitting there. They need help to get into an ACC championship. They need help in front of them to get up high enough to get one of the at-large spots. If anything, this bolsters that win Notre Dame had over this Pitt team a week ago.
Maybe it helps Miami because Miami beat Notre Dame early in the year.
They play them next week.
Those eyes, that nose, your hair, your Nana's smile, Granddad's sense of humor, Dad's ear for music, and your mom's work ethic. We all inherit things from our families. But what many of us don't? The wealth needed to buy our first home. That's why in 2024, Progressive contributed over $7 million to help make home buying a reality for more. Visit progressive.com/openthehouse to learn more.
Any question?
So she went to AutoZone, where she finds the right replacement fast. So she makes it to practice early. Like, really early.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Black Friday football on Prime is back this week. As NFC heavyweights collide.
Touchdown! Come on, baby!
The Bears.
Are you kidding me with this catch?
The Eagles.
Thinking to grab it into the end zone.
Friday is Black Friday football. Kickoff at 3 p.m. Eastern. Pre-game at 1:30 p.m. Only on Prime.
With 2 minutes to go, let's check in with Coach Freeman on the field.
We gotta be smart. We gotta be quick. We gotta be protein-packed. We gotta serve up the ultimate play. Factor. Factor. Let's go. Fresh. Chef-prepared meals. Ready in 2 minutes. Perfect to fuel your performance. Now let's go out there and let's finish this thing.
Man, I'm hungry. Give me a Factor.
Time now for the final 2 minutes. Delivered by Factor.
All right, let's answer our earlier Aflac trivia question. Although Dusty answered it about 5 minutes ago.
Was that right?
Haynes King started Longview High School. That's where Trent Williams went. He's got the most Pro Bowls among active players. Georgia Tech down to 2 downs here. 3rd and 24. It's through the hands of the underneath receiver, then caught by Rutherford. He's to the 42-yard line. It's going to be 4th down, but it's 4th down and 3. They need a score. They got to recover an onside kick. They have 3 timeouts left. Got to convert this 4th down first, or the game's over. King in trouble, backpedaling, being chased, gets tripped, keeps the play alive, now throws, and it's caught for 1st down, or no, he's short. Haynes is going to be short by about 1 yard. Georgia Tech turns the ball over on downs, and Pitt is 128 away from a victory, and that would keep the Panthers' hopes alive of a trip to Charlotte in the ACC title game.
And it's Braylon Lovelace making that play on Jamal Haynes on the sidelines that's going to secure the victory. But it's the play of the season for Pitt that he made earlier this half. It's a 14-point game. Georgia Tech scores. They make it a 7-point game. Pressure off the edges. Lovelace at the line of scrimmage on the snap. Bails. Haynes King never sees him. Lovelace eyes on the quarterback the whole way, steps in front, and takes it to the house. Just a massive play in this game and keeps Pitt very much in the mix for a potential ACC Championship game spot.
That made it 35-21. Gain of 9 here for Pittsburgh, and Georgia Tech will use a timeout. They've got 2 left. The easiest path to the ACC Championship game now will belong to Virginia and SMU. There's still a chance for Pittsburgh. They got to beat Miami. If Pitt were to lose to Miami, Miami could get back into the mix. There's still a chance Georgia Tech could get in, but they lose most of the tiebreakers. Very slim shot for them to make it to the ACC title game.
Georgia Tech had the ability tonight, win and they're in. That's off the table. They're not completely eliminated. There's scenarios that could get crazy, and they could get back in with their second loss, as could a lot of schools. But now, like you said, if SMU can handle their business against Cal and Virginia can beat their in-state rival Virginia Tech, there's your ACC championship game in Charlotte. Now, if one of those teams loses, and Pitt wins, they're in, right? If one of those teams or both of those teams lose, and Pitt loses to Miami, which will not be an easy game next week, Miami, Duke, and a lot of these other schools start to come back in as all two-loss teams. So still a lot to play for in the final weekend for the ACC Championship, for the college football playoff.
On 2nd and 1, Turner tripped up, but he did get a first down, and Georgia Tech will call another timeout. So Miami is currently 13th, the highest ranked ACC team, and right now, again, they would need a ton of help. Where do you put them? I mean, does Miami have a shot if they don't make the ACC Championship Game as an at-large team, meaning the ACC, we get 2 teams in?
I think they need teams to falter in front of them. You know, I think that they need an Oklahoma loss, an Ole Miss loss. I think that, you know, they need Alabama being upset in the Iron Bowl. Like, I don't think if it stays status quo and the teams in front of them win, it's tough to imagine a scenario if they don't get into Charlotte in the ACC Championship Game that they get in.
Meanwhile, you see the head shaking and the disbelief on the face of Haynes King in his final home game. They will play Georgia on Friday on ABC at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. As Heinzel is going to take a knee, let's see if Brent Key uses his last time out. He will. But Pitt can take 2 more knees and this game will be over.
You mentioned it earlier, but it really is an outstanding job by Pat Narduzzi. I mean, his 11th season, and you know, now in position to potentially get back to another ACC championship game. But regardless, just the season has been really good. Chance to win 9 games either way. And to make this move that you've touched on so many times tonight, to move on from a guy in Eli Holstein who had been good, who had won a lot of games, but he had turnovers, and they saw something in this freshman. They saw leadership. They saw a guy who was showing up on Mondays before anybody else watching film, preparing as a starter when he was the 3rd-string quarterback, that they made this move. And it's propelled this season. They're 6-1 since they made this move, and they're very much in the conference championship race, and they're very much in the college football playoff race. And also, Dave, to go back from last week and lose the way they did and bounce back and show up on the road here tonight, it's just really impressive by Pat Narduzzi and his team.
And speaking of last week, remember going into that game? Now, Pat Narduzzi said later that he regretted saying this, but this is about Notre Dame. Like, hey, if we lose by 100, that's fine. All we got to do is win the next 2. That's what matters in the ACC. Well, 1 down and 1 to go, along with, again, needing others in front of them to falter. But a great response after getting pounded at home by the Irish to come down to Atlanta. A must-win game for Georgia Tech, as you said, winning they're in. And it's the Panthers that come away with the victory. 1 more knee here from Heinzel, and this one is over.
And how will Georgia Tech respond with their in-state rival Georgia a week from now at Mercedes-Benz? It's going to be interesting to see what type of life this team has Black Friday, 6 days from now.
6 straight conference wins for Pat Narduzzi in Pittsburgh, and Mason Heinzel as a starter, 18 years old, 6-0 against conference opponents. And the Panthers keep their hopes alive of a spot in Charlotte 2 weeks from tonight in the ACC Championship Game. Let's check in now with Taylor McGregor and Coach Narduzzi.
Thank you, Coach. You called this a championship game to your group. What did they show you to be successful with their backs against the wall?
Well, they hung in there. Maybe it's hard on the road to get a victory. That's a good football team. That's a 9-1 football team. Our guys played their tails off all day long. Defense was on the field a long time in the second half. You know, my hat goes off to these guys. They did an incredible job.
Since Mason Heinzel took over as QB1 of this program, you guys have been on a run here. But down the stretch, when they started bringing pressure, what did he show you tonight that shows you he can be successful in any moment?
You know, we got to do a better job protecting him and